I didn't realize that, Lake. Strick did not make the All-Star team. Never. He made the All-NBA team.
Yo, we live right from the top, fresh on the panel. It was a crazy slate of games last night in the in-season tournament. As you guys know, the Lakers blew the Jazz out of the water. But chill, right from the top, your man LeBron James crossed the 39K threshold.
Yep.
What does this mean for him, and how many points do you think he'll eventually get?
I'm one to believe that I'm not sure this can continue the way it is, because if it continues the way it is, he'll pass. If they talk about him playing the next, I don't know, 2 or 3 more years, he'll pass the 43,000 point threshold. I think that he could get, the way he's going right now, he could pass 40,000 by the end of this year. The way he's going. But if he plays another 2 or 3 years, I mean, 43,000 points isn't ridiculous. And I think that that's something that nobody will ever surpass. Not in my lifetime. I'm not saying that it won't ever happen. I don't think I'll be around to see it. What he's doing right now is what Damo talked about earlier. I got to accept the fact that this is just something that's never happened before. And this dude is different. I'm waiting for him. I'm waiting for this to go away, but it just doesn't seem like it is. When I see a guy that's that age, that's still doing what he's doing and still doing it at the high level that he's doing it at this point, I mean, this guy is supposed to have been over 2 or 3 years ago. Meanwhile, he looks like he's in year 11, year 12, and he's still playing at the top of his game. What this means is that the bar has been raised for a lot of other players, that when you get older, this is what it looks like. And if you could do this, we could talk about you like that dude.
Mars Damo 7, you the Lakers guy. Hey, we see the mic. We see you on Lakerland. How are you feeling about what LeBron did last night? What does that mean for the Lakers?
I'm feeling the same way as OG. Like, it's just unbelievable. You know what I'm saying? Just to see this guy time after time, like, just do so many special things. What it does for the team overall, though, bro, I don't know. You know, it's still early. I'm still got concerns that I still see from last year, but just to see him individually, you know, play at this high level, it's amazing, bro. I don't think we will ever see it again.
Damo?
Listen, I've come to just accept the greatness that is my GOAT. I don't know what else there is to really do. How many does Oscar Schmidt have? The all-time leader in just basketball points.
47,000.
That might be what his real goal is. That might be the actual ghost he's been chasing, the ghost of Oscar Schmidt, to get that club, because the way he's producing, it is just unbelievable. I said it, like Chill Sound said. I said it earlier. We're witnessing something that's never been done. Therefore, remove all parameters. Remove everything you know about this, because you don't know about this. This is one of one. This is something that's just, you have to experience. This is going to be one of those things where it's like you said, it raises the bar and changes how we have to talk about guys moving forward now. And it's not just LeBron. When we're talking about longevity, Kevin Durant's name has to be mentioned at this point. I'm at this point now with Kevin Durant. He's going to be one of those guys that push the boundary further. I believe Steph Curry is going to be another one of those guys who, longer in his career, we can speak on the fact that Chris Paul been able to play for so long at the level he's playing at, depending on where you view Chris Paul, how you view Chris Paul. So it's not just LeBron. LeBron's definitely the spearhead, but you can see how what LeBron is doing is affecting what other star players of his era are doing when it comes to longevity. We're already seeing it. There's going to be a group of guys that push that forward. So that's amazing. As far as what it does for the Lakers, I mean, last season at this point in time, we were what, 2-10, 2-11.
We started.
We started off like the Pistons. So and right now we're what, 9-6. In the grand scheme of things, we're starting off a lot better than we did last year. I do agree some of the questions from last year are still here, and you already know what the biggest question is. He has a limp on his head and hands in his pockets. But as long as that's our coach, we're going to go. OG, I disagree with you. We're not going to go as far as Anthony Davis takes us. We're going to go as far as Darvin Ham coaches us. That's as far as we'll go.
That makes me a little nervous. Just like Davis makes me nervous, Darvin Ham makes me nervous too, because I still feel like you're only as good as your coaching staff, as good as you are as a coach. Phil Jackson was only as good as Tex Winters and the rest of that coaching staff. Greg Popovich, Steve Kerr, these guys are only as good as the guys on that bench. So that does make me a little nervous.
Mars, how do you feel about your GOAT LeBron jumping into a whole nother stratosphere?
Did you switch over, Mars?
Like I said 2 days ago, PEDs don't move me.
Oh.
So,
all right, Mars, we're supposed to be giving praise, and you come up here and do
who's
this.
we? You. That was the best game of the season last night. We talking about LeBron James for whatever reason.
What was the best game of the season?
The 300-point game with Philly.
The Philly Cavs game was the best game of the season.
Sure, but whatever. We talking about PEDs and praising 39,000 points. All right, cool. He's on PEDs. Good for him. I don't care. So once we're ready to talk about real hoops, ethical hoops, non-PED hoops, I'll be here ready to talk.
Mars, what evidence you have that he's on steroids?
Did you see what he did to my team?
So the fact that he roasted your team, now he's on.
Ain't
the
no
juice.
way that's possible. Nah, PEDs.
So you think he's on the juice because he's so good. There's no other explanation for him.
Nah, that's proof.
Doing what he's doing, and the proof is that he just destroyed the Houston Rockets. He didn't destroy Indiana. He didn't destroy Orlando. He served Houston. So with him serving Houston, he's on the juice.
Yeah.
Official.
E-Word just dropped a comment in the chat, and he said 39K before his 39th birthday. Dub script.
It's not a coincidence.
You can't make things like this up.
It's not a coincidence.
Mars,
Cold.
I'm sorry about what he did to the Rockets. I'm sorry about what he's doing to the league, but this is otherworldly right now. I don't know if you guys do know this, but I think over like the last 5 or 6 games, LeBron's averaging close to 30, just under 30. It's like 29.8, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, and he's shooting out of his mind.
The
He's shooting
difference,
the best
though,
percentages over his career.
Here's the difference, though, Ron. The difference is that I saw this last year. He went 38-10 for like 10 games, and then he broke down. So this is not something that is unusual. He did this last year too, but he broke down in the process. That's why I'm thinking to myself, yo, how long can this continue? And I don't want it to stop. Of course, I don't want it to stop. I want it to keep
Just
going.
human nature, though.
Right. It's eventually time catches up to all of us. And I'm thinking to myself, yo, how long can this dude keep doing this before Father Time? Because Father Time has tapped him on the shoulder. And Damo, you keep telling me that this is.
You keep Father Time's tapping him on the shoulder, but he keeps slapping Father Time hand away. Like, yo, don't touch me.
I mean, like Damo said, you know, we witnessing one of one. And at some point, Father Time is not going to tap him on the shoulder. He's going to grab his shirt. Like, you can't keep running from me. You can't. At some point, this has to slow down. Again, I saw him last year. I think it was when they played Charlotte. They went from Charlotte and they had a 10-game stretch where he averaged something crazy, like 34 to 35 a game, something like that, and like 10 assists for like 10 straight games. And then he ended up breaking down. And he sat down for like 2 weeks or something like that. So I'm just trying to make sense of this, Damo. That's all I'm doing, because I ain't never seen nothing like this before. I just have.
Can I ask a guy like Wilt Chamberlain?
Yeah.
At the time when he was done, because he wrapped it up. He played 13 years. He wrapped it up at 36 or 14. 37.
Yeah.
When he walked away from the game, obviously he was not the Wilt of yesteryear. But Wilt Chamberlain at that age, with that much tread on his tires, and at that time, the medical advancements and recovering for your body was then not even what it is now. And Wilt was a freak of nature. Wilt was another one-of-one type of athlete. But he still had, from what I believe, and maybe I'm wrong, did he not still have a lot in the tank compared to what guys usually have at that time?
The year before he retired, he was Finals MVP. He finished second in league MVP voting, and the year he retired, he led the league in rebounding. He averaged almost 20 boards a game.
So I mean, we've seen this.
Rumor has it teams still tried to sign him in the 80s. Rumor has it. No,
and he was in his 50s at that point.
Rumor has it there were still teams trying to reach out to him in the 80s.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. And he was in his 50s. Like, yo, can you give me? And he said he said I could probably still play about 10, 15 minutes a game. He said that.
At 50. So again, this is the type of, and that's how you have to look at this now. When in history have we seen a guy really have that type of longevity or just be that healthy? We've seen it before. He quit early. He retired a little bit early, but we've seen it before with a guy like Wilt Chamberlain. But that's how far back you have to go for the last time this has happened. This is special. Like, this is a rare thing.
And not only that, Damo, we looking at the competition level as well. It's not that this guy's still on the basketball court. Look what he's doing and look what he's facing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Young guys, like you mentioned, the KDs, the Steph, like LeBron is still exceeding expectations against elite competition. It's not just a period of him just being there.
The fact that I can play in a league where I can look at guys and go, yo, I played against your father and your father and your father, and I'm still awesome. Today, you got dudes, second generation dudes coming in the NBA, and he's still outplaying these dudes. Second generation guys, not second generation NBA players. I played against your father, and I'm still doing work when your father was here. So it's incredible to see what I'm seeing right now. Like I said, Mars, like I said, Damo, I've seen guys have longevity where they were awesome late in their careers, but it wasn't like this. I mean, Malone. I remember Malone at 38. I think he was 22-7, 22-8, and he was still awesome. I mean, he still was a top 15 player in the NBA, still was a top 15 defender in the game. So he still was awesome. James, on the other hand, I mean, I don't remember Malone moving like this. Like Jabbar at 38 years old, he won the Finals MVP. Jabbar won the Finals MVP at 38 years old. So he played till he was 42. And by the time he got to that age, it was obvious that Jabbar wasn't what he used to be. James, on the other hand, looks like, and I'm not getting sucked into that, you know, what everybody else is thinking, where he could play 4 or 5 more years. No, I don't believe that, like, he's still going to be this in 5 years. No, because, again, time catches up with all of us. Time catches up with all of us.
Yo, chill. I know you had mentioned that you believe that he's going to break down, or you're just expecting him to break down at some time, which is fair and that's valid. I don't, but it's not his athleticism to me that is moving me right now. Obviously, you guys seen when he hit who was that? John Collins with a jab step middle, went baseline. Hey, had that crazy dunk, and he just exploded to the hoop, exploded off the ground. It was a crazy athletic play, and it's like, okay, LeBron's still doing this 20 years later. It's crazy. That's not what's moving me, though. Like how I said, it's the fact that he's shooting at a phenomenal rate. So I'm gonna just give you guys some of the percentages that he's shooting right now. He's shooting a career best field goal percentage at 58.6. He's shooting a career best true shooting percentage at 67.1. He has a career best points per 36 minutes. Points per 36 minutes, 29.3. Leads the NBA in restricted area field goal percentage, 81.7. Leads the NBA in fourth quarter points per game, 9.2. And he leads the NBA in fourth quarter plus minus at plus 6.3. That's what's moving me.
Those are all fake stats.
Leads the league in PEDs taken too.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't listen. When it comes to LeBron shooting, look, I'm glad he's on a hot streak right now. I've seen it firsthand. That can all disappear in an instant. This is not the first hot stretch he's had shooting the ball. This might be the best. If the numbers support it, it might be the best. But when he starts LaDoinking, then all that goes away. So I'm not. I don't trust the shooting numbers at all. I have to see the movie.
This is why I'm not gonna let this slide, because last year when he was shooting bad to start the season, I said no, his numbers. I said the law of averages. Remember this, Mars? Remember this, Chill? I said his numbers will go up and it will average out. What happened? During the end of the season, he started shooting better. His numbers averaged out. Well, what does he shoot over his career from three?
34.5.
Okay, 32, 34 and a half. Same thing.
Don't shrug your shoulders at that.
It's not okay. So look, so now I'm gonna say this year, but then you guys are gonna try to discredit this. Now, since he shot 2% below his minus last year, he's gonna shoot 2% over his average this year.
Okay.
All right.
36%. Cool. Yeah.
Okay, and that's good, right?
I don't trust it.
What? So what do you think he's gonna do?
But that same season, you know what? I believe it. He started off shooting terrible last year, and he finished our season shooting terrible. So now this might be actually a law, like the actual revision of history. So now he's starting the season off hot as hell. So no matter what happens in the middle of the season, as long as he finished the season hot as hell, we're good. So I'm gonna subscribe to your philosophy. I got you.
Mm-hmm. Hey, to the dude in the chat that say he shoots 69% from the free throw line. The free throw that he shot the other night to ice the game won the game. Just so you know. Just want to put that
split them 50%.
Yes, he did. Mm-hmm. And the one he made ended the game. Just so you know.
He would have missed one more. We having a Jason Tatum conversation.
There we go. But only except he didn't. He iced the game. So
could have made two, but I guess we just
he could have. Yep. He could have, but he didn't. Only except he made one of them, and the one that he made iced the game. And he actually did that before too. I think he did that in the NBA Finals when he played against.
Yeah, missed the first again. Yeah, he loves doing that.
He did the same thing in the NBA Finals when they played against Golden State. He did that in the NBA Finals to ice the game, by the way, because the game wasn't over. Game's over when he makes that free throw. So, in the words of my man Shaq, I make him when it counts. So
he makes him half the time when it counts. Clearly,
yeah, makes him when it counts. So
you got Luka tonight. It's going down.
Mm-hmm. Is that in Dallas or in Los Angeles?
That is in Los Angeles.
Okay, Luka in town. All right.
Yep.
Yeah, but before we talk about tonight's game, is there anything that anybody else wants to highlight from the Lakers Jazz game last night when the Lakers just steamrolled the Jazz?
Oh, I got one.
Get Torian Prince off the floor. Get him off the floor, Dom.
Hey,
I can't.
Chilltown is starting to. Hey, I'm starting to rub off on Chilltown. Chill already know where I'm going. Torian Prince is a terrorist. That's it. Win or lose, I don't care. That man is a terrorist, and I'm gonna say it every time I get a chance. Because everyone wanted to act like I was crazy when I said this. He's a terrorist.
Get Torian Prince off the floor. Get him off. How often are they going to leave you open? How much more do they need to leave you open before you actually make a shot? I don't know whether it's in his head. I don't know if he's sped up. James gets downhill. Anthony Davis gets doubled on the block. Rui is actually making plays for him. Only except this dude can't make an open shot, and I'm trying to figure out what the problem is. Like y'all told me before, where he shoots in the corner on corner threes. It's like the basket is moving whenever he shoots. And on top of that, defensively, he looks out of place. As good as he should be, because that's what he's there for, but he also looks out of place. So, I mean, they won last night, and don't get me wrong, he was a plus, but he's got to shoot the basketball better, man. If he's going to help them, if he's going to help the Lakers offensively, he's got to shoot the basketball better.
Law of averages.
So it's going to balance out at some point.
Law of averages.
I've been spotting fake shooters on the Lakers for the last 5 years. I see it every year coming in.
Mm-hmm.
I know I know the exact player when the lights are going to be too bright, and for whatever reason, but Casper's just out there swatting they shot at the rim because these guys just can't shoot when they put Lakers jerseys on. It started with Danny Green. No, it started with KCP when he was on house arrest, and then he broke the curse. Then it was Danny Green. Then Melo was garbage shooting the ball. I don't care what nobody says. It was terrible watching him shoot. Then, of course, we have Westbrook that came out there. Oh, don't forget Troy Brown. Troy Brown was another terrorist. Yeah. Malik Beasley. And look what he's doing when he's on. Way more consistent in Milwaukee. For whatever reason, in the smaller market, the shot balance, law of averages, right? Why just be too bright for some of these cats? And I knew Torian Prince wasn't built. He's not cut from this cloth.
Yo, Seven, before I get your recap from last night's game, Damo, I do want to ask, do you guys have any real shooters as of right now? Said you've seen a lot of fake shooters.
Not consistently. Not at all. Not at all.
No.
Ticket, you actually lucky you in the dentist. How about that?
Dentist.
You lucky you at the dentist. How about that?
Nah, man can't go to the dentist now.
Yes, he can. Absolutely.
That's convenient dentist appointment.
Just booked our appointment when Tyrese Haliburton made his 9th free.
That's crazy. He already died.
Yo, so in the midst of us figuring out whether tickets duck and smoke or not, Seven, talk to us about what you've seen last night. You as one of our premier Laker analysts.
I saw effort last night. That was one of the biggest things to me when we talk about the Lakers versus the Jazz. I knew that this was going to be the first of a back-to-back, and I've seen the Lakers play down to the level of competition, and we've seen them guys start off real slow when it comes to teams that they should have beat, giving out poor effort. And You know, I didn't see that. They got off to a real quick start and they dominated. So I was impressed with the win yesterday, but tonight is the real deal. So I kind of felt like as long as they did what they were supposed to do last night, it was going to be all good for them. LeBron getting the 39,000 point mark, but I knew the second half of this back-to-back was going to be the most important. But Lakers are doing well, playing at home. But my concern, bro, is the road.
And the fact that Dallas didn't play last night neither. That, I mean, they coming off like 2 days of rest. So I'm a little bit concerned about that. But I like what I saw from Anthony Davis last night, particularly on the backboard and at the rim. I mean, I think that that's something that you could get from him on the regular. The fact that he scores, I think that's a plus. He should be able to score on the regular, but when you get 30, 35, that's a plus. If you could get 22 to 25 a night from him, plus what you get at the rim, plus what you get on the backboard, plus with him putting pressure on other teams offensively when he's running the floor, I think that's good. I keep hearing this trade package where Zach LaVine may be coming to the Lakers. I really do not want to give up Rui Hachimura, man. I love what he brings to your team, that energy off the bench. I love that. And the fact that you got to give up Rui to get that, I don't love it. But if it means getting Alex Caruso, I'll do it.
Who's your definite untouchables for the Lakers outside of, you know, LeBron and AD? Who guys are you definitely not trying to put in a package?
There is nobody that I'm not trying to put in the package who I would rather keep. There's guys that I'd rather keep as opposed to these guys is untouchable. I'd rather keep Rui. He's the one guy. I'd rather hold on to him. I'd rather hold on to the big fella Halls, the backup big man. I'd rather hold on to him. Hayes, not Halls. I'm sorry, Miles. Hayes. I'd rather hold on to him. Other than that, I'd rather hold on to Reeves too. But if it means getting somebody substantial, and I can't say no to it, then I'm not.
Cool. So the Lakers were the second team to clinch a berth in the first knockout round of the in-season tournament. And it was another team that clinched right before the Lakers. Do we want to talk about this game right now, or do we want to wait for a dentist appointment to end?
Let's get to it. I'm down.
Let's get to it. Let's get to it.
End up coming back to it anyway. So
yes, we are.
As you can see from the title, Tyrese Haliburton went bonkers. Damo, talk to me about what you seen last night.
I mean, what we see dang near every night this man plays basketball. Absolute greatness. I don't know why this is continuing to be a thing. Ron, I'm surprised you're not letting your nuts hang more on this. You called it. You literally said on the show.
I said yesterday.
You literally said on the show, yo, Ticket, keep this energy. I hope you have the same energy when we come back tomorrow after Haliburton drops 30. He's going to have 30 and 10, and I want you to have the same energy. Surprise, surprise, he's at the dentist. Crazy. I thought you would have been like, yo, I know these things, because that's what happens when you're talking about a phenomenal point guard. It was a great game, but no. Outside of that, it was a great game from him. Buddy Hield was amazing. Buddy just caught fire, and it was literally he didn't miss a three, did he not? He was 6 for 6. Is that what it is? I pull it up and see. But I believe he was 6 for 6 in that fourth quarter. Every shot he took, mouth wide open catch. I was like, oh my God. Insane work. Trae Young, phenomenal. Love what I see from Trae Young. Trae Young was definitely putting on for Atlanta. I liked it. It was great. I picked up on the game probably in the fourth quarter. In the fourth quarter is when I really started watching the game. So I call all the greatness, the greatest aspects of it. It was terrible. Reeves did not score in the fourth quarter because they were doubling him full court, get the ball out of his hands, because that's how bad he was cooking. But yeah, Buddy Hield just took over, ended the game. One of the better games of the season, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. When you guys get an opportunity, go pull up a film of Derek Harper, because that's who I'm looking at when I see Tyrese Haliburton. Set the better passer. And a better passer and a better scorer. That's what I see. I see a much better version of Derek Harper when I see this dude. I'm not looking at Stockton. I'm not looking at Chris. No. At 6'5", not ridiculously athletic, smart, won't let you speed him up, plays with a lot of patience, plays defense, hard-nosed, really good at closing out. They had this action where, they ran it like 2 or 3 times. They had this action where Haliburton's coming down, Buddy Hield's on the right side of the floor, Jalen Smith is setting a back screen. Jalen Smith sets a back screen. He's sitting, and Boggs is covering Buddy Hield. Jalen Green sets a back screen. When he sets the back screen, he immediately comes back and sets a ball screen for Haliburton. That's where the miscommunication comes. That's where the miscommunication is caused on Atlanta's defense. So instead of DeJounte Murray getting around the screen, him and what's the big kid's name that played at USC that plays for the Atlanta Hawks? I keep getting his
Congo.
That's him, Moss. So instead of Murray getting around the screen, what he does when Jalen Smith comes to set the screen, he doesn't set it. He just slips right to the basket. Well, Murray and Okongwu, instead of them communicating and Murray staying with Haliburton, they both go with
He's wide open.
Yeah, they both go. They both go with Jalen Smith. But Murray is able to get back, right? Murray is able to get back. But what happens is Haliburton, he's still patient. He doesn't. He lets the play happen. He lets Jalen Smith get all the way to the basket, wide open, and that's the kind of misdirection and patience that he causes. That's why when I look at him, I see the same thing like Derek Harper, except a much better passer and a much better scorer. He's awesome, man. Awesome.
Yeah, he's amazing. This is 3rd season?
4th, 5th.
4th?
5th year. I think it's.
He was in the 2020 draft.
This is 4th.
2020 draft, 2021, 21, 4th year. I'm
He's
sorry,
the
Mom.
future.
4th year. Yes,
He's the
he
future.
is. You can't speed him up. You can't speed him up. He takes really good care of the basketball. Don't get me wrong. He had 6 turnovers last night. But a couple of those turnovers is guys fumbling the ball out of bounds. We're going to talk about that with Cleveland and Philly too. But a couple of those turnovers were unforced turnovers. A couple of them wasn't his fault. But he knows who to get the basketball to, who not to get the basketball to. Obi Toppin out here looking like this is what he should have looked like from the beginning. It's incredible when you play for a team that they don't exercise your strengths and you playing with a point guard that's looking for you. Obi Toppin is livelier. He's actually getting out on an open floor more. He looks smarter in the half court than he did. I don't really know what they were doing with him in New York. He looked like Kenny Skywalker when he played in New York. Like I thought he'd be out the league in like 2 or 3 years. He actually looks really good in Indiana. I like what they're doing with him. But to your point, Damo, I mean, Buddy Hield, when you shoot the basketball like that, a lot of people will look at the score and think that no defense was being played last night. That is not true. That is not true. These dudes are playing defense.
You think it was defense being played last night?
Hell yes, it was defense being played last night. It was a lot of tough shots being made.
Okay.
A lot. It was it wasn't. I'm seeing Trae Young. Yo, he had a step back 3 from 27 feet. Haliburton was on him with a hand up, and he hit it. Let's see, who am I looking at? Not Jalen Smith. I'm looking at the big kid, Okongwu. He hit a mid-range shot. The big kid, Miles Turner, he's all over him, and he's protecting the rim at the same time. These guys hit a lot of shots, man, a lot of tough shots. So you might look at the score and think, yo, no defense was being played. No, the offense was great last night.
Yeah, and it was 86-73 at halftime.
86.
And I just couldn't believe it. I was like, how do you let a team score 86 points on you? Really, how do you let a team score 73 points on you? It was just crazy. They was really running the numbers up last night. But Mars, I gotta hear from you. What's your take on the game last night? This game.
No one could miss. That was my take.
Right.
And just what every time, and then especially to close the game when both teams did a Ty Lue impression and both went small. Then the paint just became free. I'm just seeing I think there was back-to-back plays where the Hawks gave up a dunk because Tyrese Haliburton got downhill, and then Sadiq Bey is the one having to try play help defense on the weak side rim protection. It's just a dunk every time. Like, what are you gonna do with Sadiq Bey as your rim protector? Then they go down the other end, and then guess who the Pacers rim protector is? Buddy Hield. Like, so clearly you're not going to be able to get many stops at the rim when both teams have a bunch of 6'6" and 6'7" guys on the floor. So that's what I was seeing. That's what really was like, okay, yeah, both teams really can't stop anyone from three, so they just decided to go as small as possible to try and be mobile, and they just ended up giving up a bunch of layups. I was like, oh, okay, interesting game. But I'll be watching, like, Tyrese Haliburton's 3-point shot is so, like, funky. I'm not saying he should change it because it goes in, and he was making it in college, he's making it in the NBA. He shouldn't change it. But the fact that he doesn't be doing anything crazy to get space, but then he gets space and that he gets it off just so quickly, and like it goes in every time. But I'm like, if he holds the ball this far out in front of him, and his release point is that low, surely you should be able to contest.
He should be getting ripped more. He should be getting ripped more.
Surely, but I'm not an NBA player, so clearly there's something going on the court that I'm not seeing from my TV screen that isn't explaining to me how he's getting 0% contest every time. Like, clearly there's some disconnect between what I'm seeing and what the NBA players are seeing on the court, because he's open every time, just coming off a screen. They aren't playing high. It's very rarely I see them either go over the screen, and then if they do go over the screen, then they reset the screen, and then here, I'm wide open on the wing. 3 every time. And that's how his release looks. That's what it looks like. So I don't know how it goes in, but it goes in. That was amazing. Trae Young felt like he didn't miss a shot. That was amazing. DeJounte Murray got away with an offensive foul that they overturned. I don't know how that was I don't know how they overturned
the 3-point shot.
Yes, I don't know how they overturned that, but I don't know.
He didn't kick his foot out far enough for me to be like, that's offensive foul.
I didn't think it was an offensive foul.
Who was it? Who was it? Was it Obi Toppin, or was it whichever the Indiana player was? He put his foot behind, like he closed out to the side. He put his foot out behind him and tripped him over. And apparently, DeJounte Murray is the one who got fouled. That doesn't make sense to me. But hey, I don't know the rules, so that's fine. But then he ended up blowing a layup. He was the one person who couldn't make a layup at that point. So but yeah, it was a very good game. But I'm still not moved by like anyone in the game. I haven't moved anyone up my list based on that game. So I'm assuming when the dentist appointment person comes back, he's going to say the same thing. So just preview of that, basically.
I'm not gonna lie, Haliburton didn't move up in terms, and it wasn't even just that game. It was the very end. I don't know if anybody caught it. The very end of the game, I don't know if anybody caught it. He almost had a turnover that could have cost him the game. Like he had a turn. It was a situation where he turned the ball over. It was a bad play, and it set up opportunity for them to lose. They didn't. They closed it out, and you can see everybody saying, "Good game. The game's over," and that really bothered him. It wasn't a situation where it was like, "Huh, we won. Thank God. Cool." No, he really internally, you could see, like, as soon as the interview started, he was like, it was eating him. That's a winner right there. That's a man that loves to win. That's not a man that just wants to escape with a win. He doesn't want to just escape. He took that. He took that on. That's a leader. He took the ownership. He was like, I don't care that we won. I almost made us lose, man. I'm not happy right now. That's perfectionist. I love it. Moved me. Moved up one spot.
Yo, who did he overtake?
I ain't gonna lie, he's like officially over LaMelo. I ain't gonna lie, like officially, he's over LaMelo. Because you know me, I think LaMelo's one of those guys. He's officially just
at the league guard spot.
Yeah, there's no situation where I'm taking LaMelo over him anymore.
You ain't see what LaMelo did against Boston? You ain't see that?
I am seeing what LaMelo's doing, and LaMelo's not the leader that Tyrese Haliburton is.
What about De'Aaron Fox, Damo?
As of now, as of right, actually, I would say Haliburton is a better player than De'Aaron Fox. In all honesty,
thank you, Damo.
He really is.
I'm just saying we did a start bench G League trade yesterday. I was the only one that said I wanted to start Hallie. And Hallie, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for following up. Hey, what everybody thought was blasphemy, idiocracy. For me coming up and doing that yesterday, you came and backed it up with that. I appreciate it, Hallie. And on top of that, what kind of impressed me the most? Well, it was two things. At halftime, he had 11 points and 10 assists. 10 assists at half is crazy. But he still was, they still were down 13. It was a moment where they were down 20, and they were just getting outplayed. He came out in the third quarter and basically just said, no.
That's when the game changed.
Yeah, he said, we're not going out like this.
That's where the game changed right there.
Ended the third quarter. So keep in mind, at halftime, Haliburton had 11 and 10. The third quarter ended with Haliburton having 37 and 14.
So
and they were
winning time. He only got 2 assists, so no points.
Buddy got going, Mars. Buddy got going, so it was just one of those things.
I'm just preparing you guys for the agenda.
No, that's what's going to happen. No, that's definitely
preparing you guys. No points in the fourth quarter. Had to get Buddy Hield to save him. You know, Buddy Hield can't even close his mouth.
Buddy Hield saving him is crazy. And you know what's going to happen when the Dennis guy comes? I'm literally going to say, I mean, hey, when you're a team player worried about winning and they're doubling you from full court and your teammate is not missing, why not let it fly? Why can't he just shoot? Let him shoot. What's the problem? Are we trying to win a basketball game? I'm not here trying to push an agenda. I'm not here trying to push narratives. We're going to play basketball, and that's what Reese did. Play basketball the right way.
So when you look at the league guards, because you said he moved up, Damo. All right, so Trae Young, LaMelo, Luka,
okay,
Curry, Fox,
2,
Garland. Let's see, who am I leaving out?
You named 2 people better than Tyrese Haliburton. I just want you to know that.
I said only named 2.
Only named 2. As of so far, you've only named 2 players better. Shea, that's 3.
Shea also. Shea also. So 3. So 3 guys.
He's the 4th best point guard in the NBA.
As of right now.
As of right now, out of all these names I'm hearing, as of right now, he's the 4th.
I know you're not going to say Dame, so he's the 4th best point guard.
Absolutely.
I was about to. Dame was the next guy that I was about to bring up.
Listen, and I want people to understand. Me saying that he's better than these guys, I mean, it's not like I'm saying he clears them. This is like right here. It's all really close. Like me saying he's better than Fox. I just think he's a better basketball player than Fox. Fox is obviously having a great season. He's a phenomenal leader on his team. You know, he's doing his thing. I'm not saying, he clears. Oh, that means this guy sucks. No, never that. I just think Reese is slightly better than a lot of these dudes.
I was saying Reese was better. I was saying that Reese was better than these guys without me even knowing that he had this type of takeover potential.
I thought you was nuts, Ron, to be honest with you. When you first pitched me Tyrese Haliburton and how you was pitching him to me, don't get me wrong. I saw him in Sacramento and I felt like that there was more there. I did not see this. I didn't think he was this good. But the way you were selling him to me, he better than Trae Young. He's in the same conversation with De'Aaron Fox. He's in the same conversation with Dame. Like, hold on. I don't know if he's that good. Until I started watching him. And remember that conversation we had, Mars, with dude is telling us that Tyrese Haliburton's floor is Steve Nash. I'm thinking, what is happening right now? Am I in the Matrix? What is going on? Because if his floor is Steve Nash, what does that mean? What is his ceiling? If he's that good. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So watching him, he's definitely an elite point guard. And the more I watch him, I'm dying on this hill. In 2 years, we're going to have a serious conversation about him being the best league guard in the game.
Ooh.
I'm dying on that hill.
That's not a bad
All-Star this season? We call an All-Star this season for him? It was too early.
Out the East, he should be.
He was an All-Star last season. I mean, he was a replacement. Remember him and JJ Redick got into it because JJ Redick was like, guys like Tyrese Haliburton are making an All-Star game. And then they had a little back and forth.
How can you keep him out?
JJ Redick said that?
Yeah, you don't remember that?
No.
Yeah, JJ Redick was hating on him being an All-Star.
How can you keep him out, though,
JJ
Ron?
Redick loves his stats. How do you like Tyrese Haliburton?
I'm just trying to figure out how can you keep him out. If you're thinking about the East, right? If you're thinking about the East, so you got in the East Trae Young. I'm just talking about point guards. but it's positionless. Isn't the All-Star? No, all NBA.
It's
team.
backcourt, frontcourt, so it's going to be
Okay.
ones and twos.
Right. So you got Trae Young, Van Fleet, LaMelo Ball.
He's in the West. Van Vliet's in the West.
Van
Van
Vliet's in the
Vliet's-
West.
He's in Houston. He's not in Toronto no more. I apologize.
Tyrese Maxey,
So you got Trae Young, Tyrese Maxey, LaMelo Ball,
Dame,
Dame. Let's see, Irv is in the
Jalen
West now.
Brunson.
Get Darius Garland, Jalen Brunson. Who else is in the East? Drew Holiday is in the East.
Cam
That's-
Thomas.
Yo, chill.
Tyler Hero having a good year, right?
Looking at these teams in the East,
Jalen Brown.
and it's relatively weak compared to the West in terms of guard play. But Tyrese Haliburton's the best guard in the East. Shooting
than
guard, point guard, combo
Better than-
guard.
Better than Donovan Mitchell.
Better than Dame.
I got
Yeah,
it today.
so when
better
did
than
Tyrese
Donovan
Haliburton become a better basketball player than Dame? Like, when did that happen?
When this season started, and he's been playing better than Dame.
Playing
And he's
better
doing
or is it
everything
better
better
player?
than Dame.
Those two
And he's
things
doing
are not
everything.
anything, Mars.
Is he
He's-
playing better or is he
He's
better than
better
Dame?
than Damian Lillard right now. His impact on the basketball game is
You
better
just-
than Damian Lillard.
Okay, so
Score,
that's the
got
same
it,
thing
Dame.
in different words. So you just said he's playing better again. So is
no,
he a
he's
better
playing better, and
basketball
he
player?
is better. He's better
Okay,
as a
he is a
basketball player.
better
He's a
basketball
smarter
player than Dame.
basketball player.
Okay,
He shoots better percentages. He makes better decisions. He's a better point guard. He's bigger, more athletic. He plays better defense. He's
More
better
athletic.
than Damian Lillard.
Okay, stay on that. Is Tyrese Haliburton better than Damian Lillard of 3 years ago?
No.
Okay,
No.
so how much? What has Dame regressed in that makes you say now Tyrese Haliburton is better?
It's
Smalls up.
well, Dame is not the same Dame as 3 years ago.
Yeah,
Right,
so what has
well,
he what
he's
has he,
not-
what has he regressed in?
What
I'm
is he
not arguing
regressing?
with-
That
What has he got worse at?
he just doesn't necessarily look as good. I mean, as of right now,
This is
he's not doing what he does best. He's not shooting as good.
No,
And
we
that's
can
really what
understand-
game
yeah,
is
no,
for.
we can understand he's had a slow start to the season. If you think this is what's going to continue, sure. But what has he gotten worse at? Unless you believe this Dame that
Scored.
he's shooting. So do you think the 32% from three, Damian Lillard, is just who he is now?
Oh, you
Or
know,
do you
hey,
believe
you
in
know,
all
I'm a lob averages guy. It's going to go up.
Okay.
Yes,
So
but
if it
here's
goes back
also,
up to Damian Lillard numbers of last season. Wait, is Tyrese Haliburton better than Dame of last season?
last year Dame was better than Tyrese.
So you just think Dame's gone worse at basketball this year?
No, well, you got to understand this. His role, he's going to take a step back. We're not going to be able to see the same Dame. He's not gonna average 30. He's not gonna do that every night. He's not gonna be asked to do that every night. He's not gonna have to do that every night. So his role has obviously diminished him as well. But
You
even
could be just
outside
as
of
good in
that,
a smaller role.
what?
Like you're just as good of a player, but your role changes. Do you think Steph
Even
Curry
out-
just
even-
got magically worse when KD arrived?
Even outside of all of that, I think Tyrese Haliburton is a better player than Dame. So if you can say last year, you can say whatever. Right now, today, I want Tyrese Haliburton over Dame, and I think he's better than Dame.
Interesting.
Mars, I don't see what you don't see. Like
No,
dude,
because because from what I'm hearing, and maybe I'm wrong, you're saying based on, which is fine. You're saying based on this season and how they're both playing, Tyrese Haliburton is playing better than Dame, so you take Tyrese Haliburton over Dame. I agree, Tyrese Haliburton is playing better than Dame right now. I, however, don't believe Damian Lillard has gotten worse from last year. I think he's the same person who had a slow start. So I'm not going to say Damian Lillard has now gotten worse. And if I think Damian Lillard was better than Tyrese Haliburton is now last year, and I think he's the same player, I wouldn't now say Tyrese Haliburton is better than Dame based on the fact that he's had a slow 12 games. That's where the disconnect is. You think this is who Dame, well, this is closer to who Dame is. I think last year is who Dame is, and he just had a slow start. That's where the disconnect is. And I'm not here to argue who's right about that because it's just about how we value the start to the season. I'm not one for the power ranking type rankings. I go on based on who I think you are, and especially early on in the season, law of averages. Because when Dame goes on a streak where he's averaging 34 on 50, 50, 90, we're going to be like, oh, is Dame the best point guard in the East? And I'm going to be like, see, we just overreact to a bunch of stretches of games. So I'm not trying to just change my tune based on 10 games of the season, because we're going to end up changing who the best player in the conference is every 10 games. And I don't want to do that. So that's what I'm saying when I say I think Dame is still better, because I don't think he's gotten worse.
Yeah, I agree with you. And then it's a couple things with that. With Dame, it's part of it is being the number one option, having the basketball in your hands and being able to shoot everything, which I'm not using that to necessarily knock him, but I'm saying he's able to really do whatever he wants and he's able to get in rhythm. He's able to go crazy. But also part of being a good basketball player is being able to play with other basketball players. So now Dame with Giannis all of a sudden doesn't look as good. I know we have a small sample size. I know it's just the start to the season. I do expect him to look better, play better, shoot better, all of that. But at the same time, it's still something that you have to take into account as well. How do you look in different situations? How do you look next to other people? Things like that. And I think it's a little more seamless with Tyrese if he goes and plays with other players and just things of that nature.
Yeah. Around game 50, if Damian Lillard looks similar to how he does now, I'll be willing to revisit this conversation. I'm just highly doubtful that if Dame has played 40 plus games by that point, he still looks as questionable. So
also, too, Mars, I didn't want to jump to this conclusion this fast. I wanted to at least wait 25 games, but Tyrese is better than even what I thought he was. I thought highly of Tyrese. I didn't know he could score the ball this well. I didn't know he could be he's averaging, I think, 27 right now. I didn't know he could be and once again, it's a small sample size, but I didn't know that he can come out and give you 26 in a quarter. I didn't know he was that explosive of a scorer. I didn't know he was going to have games where he had 35 and 17. I didn't see that being the case. Now that he's shown me multiple times that he could do that, now I'm like, all right, it's reconfirmed and even pushed my assumption of what I thought he was.
I thought I was glazing Hallie.
yeah, I'm like, of everyone up here, I'm like the most Haliburton haterish. I don't hate him, but I'm like clearly the lowest on him of everyone up here. I don't think that's a bad thing. I think you guys are just higher.
I ain't seen enough for him for me to call him better than Dame. I feel like Dame is clutch. I don't think Tyrese has been put in them moments unless I missed something. For me to feel like
you've seen those 0 points in the fourth quarter. You've seen it. You've seen LaMelo Ball. You've seen LaMelo Ball strip him at the end of the game.
Just yesterday, sure, absolutely.
Yeah, LaMelo Ball stopping him for game. Yeah, interesting. Also, true. The Derek Harper comparison is confusing me because Derek Harper was an elite defender. So yes. I'm like, when I think Derek Harper, I think defense, and I think that hand checking thing that he used to do, which was crazy. Yeah.
Which enabled him to be.
When I think Tyrese Haliburton, I think the opposite of defense. So.
I don't think he's a bad defender. No, I don't. I do not think that Tyrese Haliburton is a bad defender. No, I do not, Mars. No. I watch him play defense. I don't think he's terrible. He's not Dame bad. Let's be clear about that.
Oh yeah, we disagree. Okay,
no, he is not Dame bad. No way, Mars. You're not selling me that he's Dame bad. No, that he's not Dame bad. He can.
You think he's Dame bad on defense?
Yes. Yes.
No, Mars. No way.
I think he's terrible.
No, he can.
Okay, that explains why we disagree. Okay, that's
he can do a better job getting over screens. Yes, he
can.
Oh
my God, he disagree. Okay.
He can
again compared to Dame.
Yes, I think they're the two worst screen navigators in the NBA.
Yeah, he can
really.
He's not very good at getting over screens. No, he's not. He could do a better job at getting over screens, and he could also do a better job in transition and stopping the basketball because that's your job. He can definitely do that. In the half court, it's difficult because you get a lot of switches, especially because of how Indiana's defense is. They veer a lot of guys to the basket because they got Miles Turner, and they do a lot of switching on the perimeter with him and Buddy Hield, which explains last night why he wasn't the primary defender of Trae Young because there was a lot of switching going on. But he could do a better job in getting around screens. Offensively, when I watch him, that's who he reminds me of. He reminds me of Derek Harper.
Someone just said I have never watched a full pace. Okay, sure. I mean, I can't prove to you that I'm watching these games. That's whatever. But
yeah, you can.
We just disagree on Tyrese Haliburton's defense. Maybe that's where we're at.
Yes, we do, Miles. Because again, I don't think he's Dame bad. I don't think he's Luka bad. No, I do not think that he's that bad. I will say that there's things that he could do better, like getting around screens. I mean, damn. At least if you're gonna get around the screen, can you at least wait for the screen to hit you before you switch? Or can you at least try to get around this? I mean, he's already cut the screen isn't even there yet, and he's already switching. It's not. It hasn't even hit him yet. So I'm thinking, and teams prepare for that. They prepare for you to switch screens, which don't even hit you. That's why Jalen Smith was able yesterday to get to the basket like he was getting to the basket. Because a lot of times he was slipping screens and just diving to the rim. And that's what I saw. That's what I saw offensively from Indiana. So again, when I watch Tyrese Haliburton offensively, I feel like I see a lot of Derek Harper in him. Defensively, no.
I can't name 5 worse point guards than Tyrese Haliburton defensively who are starting in the NBA.
5 point guards right now in the NBA worse than Tyrese Haliburton defensively. Let's see, Dame, Trae Young, Trae Young. Let's see who else. Who else am I thinking about?
Luka, Steph.
Steph is not worse than Tyrese Haliburton defensively.
Steph is not that.
No way is he worse than Tyrese Haliburton defensively. I'll give you Trae. I'll give you Dame. I'm not even confident in giving you Luka, but we'll give you Luka for the sake of the conversation.
Chris Paul,
D'Lo,
starting point guards.
D'Lo does start, but no, I'm not. I wouldn't even give you D'Lo.
Fair.
If I go through the whole, we got Drew Holiday, no. Tyrese Maxey, no. Dame, yes. Kyle Lowry, no. Anthony Black, no. Jalen Brunson, no. Darius Garland,
CJ McCollum.
CJ McCollum, well, he's out right now. CJ McCollum better than Tyrese Haliburton on defense. But
Ja Morant, what about Ja defensively?
Ja Morant better than him, but they both in that bottom tier. Trae Young, yes. Spencer Dinwiddie, Spencer Dinwiddie's better, but he's bad too. Dennis Schroeder's better. Kobe White?
No, Mars, absolutely not. Kobe White.
I don't know enough about Kobe White's defense. I don't know.
I'm gonna be honest. I only be paying attention to Chicago when I see Alex.
I've seen Kobe White play defense. He's not very good defensively.
Yeah, he's not. LaMelo's better. We'll come back to Kobe White and I'll come back to Darius Garland.
Better.
LaMelo is better.
He's trying. He's trying
LaMelo's
now.
been better.
He's
LaMelo's
trying
been better
now.
before.
So the evidence is
Tyus Jones. I'm willing to. Tyus Jones is another bad one. We'll come back to him.
That's 7, Mars.
No, but Darius Garland, Spencer Dinwiddie, and Tyus Jones. I'm gonna think about as I go down the rest of it.
So we can have a conversation.
Cade is better. Mike Conley is better. Jamal Murray is better. Reggie Jackson, however, is probably worse, and he's starting in Jamal Murray's place. So I'll give you Reggie Jackson for now. Shea for sure is better. I think Luke is better, but we can come back to Luke.
Wait. Stop right there, Mars. What's the problem when you talk about defensively? Is it the effort? Is it clueless with Haliburton? Is it the effort?
Oh, I think
is he clueless? Which one is it?
Well, with Tyrese, my biggest issue, which seems to be where we seem to be disagreeing, I think him and Dame are one and the same when it comes to screens. I've never seen Tyrese Haliburton get around the screen. He just dives on every single one I've ever seen. So that, me personally, that's where it all starts. With how heavy of a ball screen and roll, pick and roll, off ball screen in league this is, he's terrible. And for someone his stature, normally the aim of getting around screens is get skinny. He already skinny. He should be able to do that. He's 6'5". He got a positive wingspan. He should be a better defender than he is. Also, off the ball, I think his awareness is questionable sometimes. It looks like he's ready just to get the offense going. Like he's already thinking about pushing the fast break. I see him get back cut quite a few times. Maybe he's losing them to Miles Turner. Maybe it's high IQ plays. I don't know. But I see him get back cut quite a few times. On the ball, there's quite a few times I see him get blown back because he ain't even in his stance. He just be standing upright, straight to the rim. That can't be happening. I see him get beat by rudimentary ball handlers with one move. There's not really anything that you really have to do special to get by him. Also, I value rebounding as part of defense. Not really a great rebounder.
He does not.
But he's a point guard. I don't hold that in high regard for point guards, but it's a part of defense. He doesn't really do that at a high level. There's nothing I think he does at a high level in defense. I just think he's a clear negative.
What about playing the passing lanes and things like that?
That's stuff
because that's Seymour's. That's
I
where
don't think he's good at that. I think
I'm starting to see this is where we have our disconnect. So I never knew that you valued getting over screens and stuff like that as high as you do. See me when I think defense, I think on-ball defense. I think playing the passing lanes and getting blocks.
Ron, how can you not think about that considering the screen and roll heavy league?
The way the league is today, that's the most important thing for a career.
You have to be able to get around screens. You can't
absolutely
just screens all day long.
For sure, but it's only a couple people that can do that at a high level. You know how hard it is to get over screens?
I don't think it's that. Here's the problem.
That's where me and Chill disagree. But I think he's terrible. Like he's bad. Like I understand that some people might not be great at it, and I'm fine with. Oh, you're not going to be Drew Holiday around the screen, or Alex Caruso around the screen, or Herb Jones around the screen. That's fine. But if you're just getting beat on every single screen that comes, that's why I'm like, well, you're hurting your team at this point. And I think that's part of the reason why the Pacers defense is so bad. They have no one other than Bruce Brown, who I'd say can get around the screen consistently. That's a part of the reason why their defense is that
Mathurin
bad.
actually tries to get around screen.
He tries, but he's just fundamentally a bit off sometimes, in my opinion. But he's young. I'll give him that. But that's part of the reason. And also, Trae Young and Luka Doncic have improved on defense. Just putting that out there. I'm not saying they're good now. Luka might be borderline good, but Trae Young has improved on defense. His efforts improved. His on-ball defense has improved. He's just way too small to be really beneficial. But he's trying his best to not be a negative. He's like a small negative now, in my opinion. So is it out to him?
So is it fair to say, Mars, that when you're talking about defense, point guards in particular, the effort is the most important thing? Because a lot of these screens, like for example, when Tyrese Haliburton, who doesn't do a good job getting around screens, a lot of these screens, it's not like he's getting screened by Malone, right? It's not like he's getting screened by Alonzo Mourning. A lot of these screens that are coming are just you anticipating that he's going to screen, and he doesn't. You could just walk right around these guys. So wouldn't that be coaching where you can give a better effort? Because at the end of the day, I can teach you footwork, Mars. I can teach you stance. I can teach you all of that stuff. At the end of the day, drop your ass, get your hands moving, get your feet moving, get your hands busy. But this guy, I think Tyrese Haliburton, I don't think he's terrible defensively. I think the effort is where the problem is. Because a lot of this stuff is effort-based with him. I don't think it's him not being able to, because when he has the basketball, how smart is he? Same logic with Luka. Luka just wants to get back to the basketball. Luka has no recovery. Once you get by him once, there's no way that Luka's going to recover or try to recover to get back into play. Him, James Harden, guys like that, they just want to get back to the basketball. But once you get the ball and these guys are going downhill or they're creating offense for other people, it's obvious that they're smart enough to comprehend this. The problem is that the effort isn't there. So would that be coaching more than anything? I need a better effort from you. This isn't good enough.
If that is the case, and I can't speak to Tyrese's effort, but then Domo's saying that Tyrese only cares about winning and then not giving effort on defense would be a contradiction, right?
Maybe.
Because you can't care about winning and then not give effort on defense. Because then you only care about winning when you're on offense.
I mean, James Harden made a career out of it.
And then people say he don't care about winning.
Right.
So, like, for me, I don't want to attribute, like, defense definitely has a lot to do with effort. I think offense has a lot to do with effort too, especially when you're not a ball-dominant player. I think it has a lot to do with effort. But for me, going back and watching Tyrese Haliburton at Iowa State, because as a Golden State fan back in the day, I was pushing for Golden State to get Tyrese Haliburton because I did not believe in James Wiseman, and I thought LaMelo was going to go. I thought if the Warriors didn't get LaMelo, they should trade down and get Tyrese Haliburton or Denny Avdia. They were the two people I was pushing for. He wasn't playing defense in Iowa. So is he trying to get drafted? I don't know. He wasn't playing defense in Iowa. He had a smaller role in Sacramento, and he still wasn't playing defense. So I don't know if it's effort or it's just an incapability. And I'm fine with saying someone's just incapable of doing something because players have flaws. I don't want to just attribute it to effort because then we get to the point where, oh, well, he'd be a good defender if he just tried. I'm like, well, some people just don't have the capability to be a good defender. Trae Young is one of them because I promise you he's trying. Right. Not just in last night's game, this season, and since Quinn Snyder's come in, really, he's been trying. And you can see he's trying. He's more active in the passing lanes. He's more active on the ball. He's actually, he gets quite a few deflections for a guy his size, which is part of defense. On the ball, he's definitely not just matador defense anymore. He's actually trying to at least stay with the first move. If he gets beat, he's peeling off, he's rotating to his man. But then guess what? The man he rotates to is 6'8", and he's just too small. So he's doing the right things. He just has limitations. He's never really going to be a good defender. And I'm perfectly fine with accepting the fact that Trae's never going to be a good defender. You build around that. Tyrese Haliburton, I don't see where the room for him to become a good defender is because I just don't think he's ever going to be able to get around the screen. I don't see how he's been in the league for this is his fourth year, and he still can't even get. There's no improvement. He's just as bad as he was when he came in. Well, like for me, that's a clear sign that I don't think he's not trying. Well, I think he just can't do it.
Even if he's not trying, I'm not sure that I'm buying the logic that he's not trying. I think that has a lot to do with effort. Because again, when you're talking about a guy who is not good off the ball, as smart as he is with the basketball, as smart as he is in the half court, you can give better. Because this what this sounds like with him when it comes to playing defense, the majority of it is an effort issue. Get down in the stance, get your feet moving. If you can't get to a guy, I accept limitations, Mars. I accept that you're not as fast. I accept that you're not as strong. But the effort, if the effort isn't there, then I can't do that. I can't give you the benefit of the doubt. And with Tyrese Haliburton, the effort, that can change. And you know, they're not going to sit him. I'm not going to say that they're going to sit him down. But the effort can change. Yo, I need to see you better on defense. I don't expect every elite guard in terms of a distributor to be an all-world defender. But what I do expect as a lead guard, what I do expect you to do is I expect you to give effort defensively. And if you can't give effort defensively, that takes away from your team. I just said this not too long ago. The screens in the NBA, even though this is a heavy pick and roll league, a lot of these screens aren't that hard to get around. Ron, you trying to sell me the lie? You know how hard it is to get around screens. No, these teams run offenses. The Golden State Warriors proved it when they won the NBA championship. They were trying to get Steph Curry in pick and roll where they can get that switch with him and Luka. Wiggins wouldn't switch that screen. Wiggins wouldn't switch it. Wiggins would get around the screen to stay on Luka, to make sure that Luka had to deal with him and him only. That's protecting Steph Curry. So he could get around screens. I'm not saying that Wiggins is or Tyrese Haliburton is Wiggins. What I am saying, though, is you can give effort to get around screens that aren't as hard set. And last night when I was watching those screens, a lot of those screens were not as hard. Jalen Smith, he slipped a lot of screens, which caused miscommunication. When you get guys like Tyrese, I'm sorry, like Miles Turner, he'll set screens. Did you see, who am I thinking about, Miles from Portland, my guy? Did you see DeAndre Ayton? He won't even move to set screens. He'll just go to a spot. He won't even move. He'll just go right to the spot where you're supposed to be. He's not actually hunting the guy to screen. No, he'll just go right to the spot where you're supposed to be, and the guy will just run right around him. It's not that difficult to get around. I'm not saying that it's not difficult, Ron, but it's not that difficult to get around screens. So what I'm saying is ultimately the effort needs to be better when it comes to Haliburton as a defender, and it's not.
For sure. One thing that we do have to account for, and bro, with me being the person who usually guards the lead guard, I got to pick up full court, half court, 3/4 court, whatever. When you're in that high ball screen, it's not just the screen that you're necessarily worried about. The screen is almost kind of the least of it's not the least of your concern, but you still have to focus on the ball. So you got guys up there playing with the ball, and everybody has to do this. I mean, this isn't me making an excuse for Tyrese. This is me just talking about in general. This is why it's so hard to get over screens, because when you fight hard to get over that screen, and a guard fakes like they finna come over the screen and they cross back the other way. When they reject it, that is probably the hardest thing to guard in basketball. When somebody fakes like they finna come off the screen hard and rejects it and goes the other way, it's nothing you could do. And then these guys are so good. Keep in mind, I'm not playing against NBA players every day. So when you reject the screen and then you come back and come off the screen, so that's two different directions you have to go like that. And these guys can do that in the blink of an eye. It's tough to try to not only you can barely guard these guys one-on-one as is when you're 35 feet away from the hoop. And then you have to deal with them playing with them with the screens and faking like they're going to come off, reject it, fake the reject and come back. Yo, that's crazy difficult to try to, contain. And that's for anybody. That's for anybody.
Donovan, if anyone's interested in like watching players who do that, Donovan Mitchell. He might be the best in the NBA at rejecting screens in the modern game. Like old film, Dwayne Wade. Go watch Dwayne Wade. But like Donovan Mitchell today, probably the king of rejecting screens. He's fantastic at it, and he just gets downhill so quick. When he gets to that pull-up three, it's ridiculous. Yeah, so any aspiring hoopers, there you go. Donovan Mitchell or Dwayne Wade. So yeah.
Yo, hello, JC, Jalen Carter in the house. What's up?
What's good? What's good? Another day, another grind. Great set of games yesterday.
Okay.
That Haliburton, Trae Young, and we all saw it. Shout out Trae Young. I feel like, look, Pacers are getting love, but Trae Young had himself a game too. Phenomenal game, did his thing. He just got on the losing side. So sometimes when you lose a game like that, I think your performance is often, forgotten. But
Look at him trying to push LeBron James' agenda. Oh my god!
I didn't even say LeBron.
Yo,
I didn't even say LeBron. I said Trae Young.
Here we
But
go.
sorry about LeBron. But hey, 39,000 points. What can you do? Man does not age. Another win for the Lakers. Looking good. Anthony Davis looked good.
Anthony Davis,
Anthony Davis looked great. Yeah,
incredible.
But the thing with the Jazz is though, with Walker Kessler, not in the lineup right now, everyone is kind of feasting on them on the boards and on the inside. So it's not like they're essentially one of the worst rebounding teams and one of the worst interior defense teams without Walker Kessler. So I'm not going to read too much into it. Every big has been destroying them. I think Bismack Biyombo went for like 14 and 15 against him too, something along those lines. So don't want to look too much into it, but it was a good game.
Yeah, let's it was some other games last night too that definitely want to talk about. I think this is the perfect time to get into this Cavaliers 76ers game.
Thank you.
Chill, Mars. Who wants to take the reins first?
Chill can go first because Chill's gonna look at it from a positive lens. I'm gonna be very negative. So Chill go ahead.
No, Mars, I'm listening to you, Mars.
Nah, because I read the comments when I said Tyrese Maxey can't self-create. Please, someone tell me where the Tyrese Maxey self-creation was. I'm sorry, I watched it in the fourth quarter, the third quarter, the second quarter, the first quarter. That man cannot create a shot for himself. He cannot do it. He's not very good at it. I'm sorry. He airballed a three at the end of the game because he tried to self-create. Nick Nurse didn't even call a timeout for him. He was like, you know what? We know you're not doing it in the half court. Try to push the tempo. Oh, what? Airball a three? Great. He tried to get downhill. Missed the layup. Can't create for himself. All he can do is run off a dribble handoff, get downhill in transition, or fucking score of Joel Embiid double teams. That's all he can do. He cannot self-create for himself. I'm sorry. I'm watching him every time he tries to create separation. Nothing happens. He can't get past any defensive guard. He can't get past a wing who's bigger than him. He can't even get past bigs. He can't do it. Tyrese Maxey, great player. He is just not good enough to self-create. And that is why the Philadelphia 76ers are not going to win in the playoffs. That right there is why they're not going to win. Because you cannot have a guard who cannot score for himself. It's impossible. Denver, with all of that Jokic does, they need Jamal Murray to be able to score for himself. Phoenix, with all that KD can do, you need a guard like Devin Booker who can go and get a bucket for himself. Bradley Beal. The Lakers, even with all that LeBron James can do, you need an Austin Reeves who can go get a bucket. You don't have that with Tyrese Maxey. You don't have it. All he can do is score of Joel Embiid double teams, Joel Embiid screens that leave two with him and allows him to get to the lane downhill, transition, and maybe a floater if you're lucky. And also, one of the best shooters in the league. He's a great third option. Fantastic. And third options have tremendous value. It's great that he's a great third option because there's probably not any better than him in the league. Fantastic shooter off the catch and off coming off down screens. Fantastic shooter. 45% from three, I think. Fantastic in transition. You can't name many guards better than him in transition. Fantastic coming off those dribble handoffs that Philly are running 20,000 times a game because he can get downhill on those actions. But when push comes to shove and you're in the playoffs and the game is in the half court and teams are able to switch on ball screens or teams are able to send help to a Joel Embiid without helping off of you, how are you going to be able to create for yourself and your team? He can't do it right now. And that's my whole issue with Tyrese Maxey. Everyone's saying he took a jump. All that happened is he got a larger role. He's the same person he was last year with the same flaws as last year, except he's averaging 27 and everyone told me he improved. I'm sorry, he still can't create for himself. And the Philadelphia 76ers are going to lose to a team in the playoffs because they have no perimeter shot creation outside of Tobias Harris. And they're not going to win for that. So
actually,
that's my whole issue with Tyrese Maxey. I think he's a great
lose.
Player, but you guys telling me he took a jump, I don't see it.
They're going to lose in the playoffs because Joel Embiid is on the long ball line to win games.
Because they're going to need Joel Embiid to create on the perimeter because Tyrese Maxey can't do it.
I can't understand that for the life of me. Which I don't want to get into that more than I want to pay attention to how important it is when you got a big guy. I watched Joker the other night when they played against Cleveland, how the defense put the pressure on him to guard. You and I, Mars, have already had this conversation about Joker not being a good defender, but he does give effort. When you play defense and you're not very good, but you give effort, at least the effort is there. They did a damn good job a couple of nights ago, Cleveland did, and putting pressure on Joker to defend. That's one of the main reasons why they won. The exact same thing happened last night. What both Evan Mobley and Jared Allen did made Joel Embiid defend. Rim running, putting pressure on him in the half court. I still don't think Evan Mobley is comfortable with the basketball on the perimeter. He looks like he's not sure about what it is he wants to do. If you notice at the end of that game last night, when they were keeping the ball away from Darius Garland, they had Evan Mobley bringing the ball up. Well, Evan Mobley's bringing the ball up. He looks like a baby deer where, like, should I go this way or should I go? He's not really sure about what exactly it is he does. He's trying to dribble and create shots for other people and turning the basketball over. So he doesn't look comfortable on the wing or on the perimeter with the basketball. I expected him to be better at this point. One of the things that I did see, though, was I saw Jared Allen making Joel Embiid defend, particularly in transition. He was running the floor, not just running the floor. He was diving to the box. He was in the middle of the paint, and Evan Mobley getting Jared Allen looks at the basket. I thought that was fantastic. I thought that Darius Garland did a better job in taking care of the basketball and putting Evan Mobley and Jared Allen in position where they could score. I am still not sold, and you think you're going to trick me, Max Strus. I am not sold on this.
Yeah,
He had a game. Max Strus
That's
had a
another one who was
game.
saying in front of Tyrese Maxey too.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
Max Strus, hey, good work. Also, Patrick Beverly gave some good minutes.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm
I
not
know why I said
sold.
Patrick Beverly. Real quick, just to address, Quan left a comment saying, isn't playing inside out an option? Like, give the ball to Embiid, they'll double, and you create off of that. Yes, that's how Tyrese Maxey is scoring a lot right now. Of Joel Embiid, if Joel Embiid posts up and they send a double, Tyrese Maxey can attack that closeout and get downhill. He's one of the best in the league at also doing that. The issue I have is in the playoffs, those doubles aren't going to come off Tyrese Maxey anymore. Because right now, what they're doing is they'll put the three like other players, so usually Tobias Harris, Nick Batum, and D'Anthony Melton. They'll put them on the weak side. They'll have Tyrese Maxey on the strong side with Joel Embiid, and the defender will double down off Tyrese Maxey from the strong side. Joel Embiid will just kick it out, simple pass. Tyrese Maxey attack that closeout downhill. In the playoffs, that double is going to come from the weak side. It's not going to come off Tyrese Maxey. And then when the double comes off the weak side and Joel Embiid has to make that skip pass, which even though he's making that read more comfortably, the pass accuracy is all over the place, which means the pass isn't going to get there quick enough for them to really have the advantage created. And then you're going to end up having to swing it back, and Tyrese Maxey doesn't have an advantage.
Where is Embiid when this is going on, Mars? Is he on the box or is he on the perimeter?
Yeah, this is Embiid. So let's say he's on the left block.
Okay.
Tobias Harris, D'Anthony Melton, Nick Batum are on the right side, weak side.
Okay.
Tyrese Maxey also on the left wing, who probably threw the entry pass. If Joel Embiid makes that skip pass to the weak side corner, his delivery is not consistent enough to where the advantage is still going to be there by the time the ball arrives, because his pass accuracy is questionable. And also he doesn't make that read consistently enough yet. Tyrese Maxey then won't have the advantage created for him with a scrambling defense for him to get downhill. So even though that's working right now against these regular season defenses that aren't schemed for Philadelphia's offense, when you get in a playoff series against the likes of Boston, especially against the likes of Miami, it's not going to work. I'm certain of it. And we can come back in the playoffs. Unless Tyrese Maxey improves during the season, and if he does, I will address it, because I have no problem saying a player's improved. Unless he improves, I promise you, you're going to run into these problems in the playoffs. And I'm not saying Tyrese Maxey is going to average 16 points on 20%. I'm not saying that. He might still put up 25, but I promise you, the lack of self-creation is going to hurt them in series. I promise you.
We saw it in overtime.
I was actually making basketball sound boring for explaining basketball. If the concepts of basketball is boring to you, you don't like basketball. I'm sorry.
You really don't.
I'm literally explaining simple basketball concepts. If that's boring to you, you just want to hear about why James Harden is titties over titles, because there's no reason why you're finding this boring.
I mean, he'll be able to hear that in a second. Believe me, dentist appointments usually don't last this long. But Mars, I want to dialogue with you a little bit on this Tyrese Maxey thing. And chill, please hold that thought. Yeah. I just have some questions that I want to ask Mars, and I'm not disagreeing with you. I just don't know if this can necessarily. It's obviously a flaw. You want everybody to be able to create offensively, but I don't know if I think that it will hurt the Sixers as much as you do. I want to go to a certain example. This is a very extreme example. Okay, so you guys don't jump out your seats when I say this. But who was the Golden State Warriors' second option in 2015? It's Klay Thompson, right? Wasn't really the best one-on-one scorer, but he did score a lot in the offense. He scored a lot off of Trey. Did score a lot off of Draymond Green too. He was able to get money in the flow of the offense, a little bit in transition and things like that. You don't necessarily think that him being able to score in transition, him being able to score off Embiid, him being able to score through dribble handoffs and off the offense, you don't think that can be sustainable?
The difference is, especially if we're talking about Klay 15 and 16 before KD arrived, obviously. Golden State's defense was much better than Philly's, especially in that 15 finals. Golden State's offense was not good. And a large part of that was because outside of Steph, they had no self-creators. I think that actually helps my point. Outside of, like, it's not even just Klay Thompson's numbers. The fact that Golden State only had one self-creator is similar. The Cavs had the same problem. They just had LeBron. The Warriors just had Steph in terms of self-creators offensively. They were the only ones who could consistently either off pick and roll, off isolation, could actually break down the defense and create for themselves and others. Klay Thompson couldn't do it. Draymond Green couldn't do it. Andre Iguodala wasn't doing it either. No one on the Warriors could do it. No one on the Cavs could do it. So it ended up being a series where whoever could make the other team's star less efficient and hopefully the role players don't make shots would win the series. Both teams weren't good offensively in that series. It was a defensive series where guys like Matthew Dellavedova got a lot of game time because he was able to slow down Steph Curry. And guys like Andre Iguodala get a finals MVP because he was able to slow down LeBron James. Because the teams lack self-creators, like a Kyrie Irving or like a Kevin Durant for the Warriors in later years, both teams were bad offensively. And I think the Philadelphia 76ers could win a championship if their defense was elite. I'm not saying they have no chance of ever winning.
Which they should be better, by the way, Mars. That their
I
defense
agree.
should be better.
I do agree. And I think when Kelly Oubre is back in the lineup, I don't know how long that's going to be. They should be a good defense. I'm not saying they have no chance of winning, but offensively in the playoffs, I believe they are going to struggle because of that lack of self-creation. Now, that doesn't make it impossible to win because there's many ways to win a championship. So it depends on how they go about it. But offensively, I don't think they're going to be an elite playoff offense, especially in pivotal moments because of that lack of self-creation.
I agree with you on this, Morris. And Kelly Oubre is not he's not the end-all be-all for this offense. He's not going to solve their problems. Nobody else. They have a group of guys that are tough-nosed on defense. They're tough-nosed players. DeAnthony Melton. They got a good group of shooters. When you throw Tobias Harris in there, Tyrese Maxey, obviously. Kelly Oubre's shown this year that he's shot pretty good, but they have a good group of those guys. And then they have Joel Embiid, the leader in points per game in the NBA last year before that, this year. But my thing is, if they can run a competent enough offense to where the ball's flowing, where you're getting Tyrese Maxey in these dribble handoffs and you're putting him in positions to be successful, you don't think that can basically cancel out what he's giving you? Like, because I'm just thinking of guys like Ray Allen. Ray Allen played in Seattle. I watched him play night in and night out. A lot of people would think Ray Allen was a great one-on-one scorer. No, Ray Allen scored a lot in the flow of the offense. Ray Allen came off a lot of screens. He came off dribble handoffs. He had flare screens, things like that.
I know what you're saying. Keep going, Ron.
I'm talking about Seattle. But here's the thing.
He did do a lot of what you're saying. He did.
I'm not comparing Ray Allen to Tyrese Maxey.
Okay.
In that sense, and who's a better one-on-one scorer. I'm just saying I watched Ray Allen average 26, 27, or whatever he was averaging those years in Seattle, and a lot of it came off of screens. It came off of an offense. So I'm saying he was still able to get you that money, but a lot of it was in the flow of the offense. So I'm more so saying you don't think Nick Nurse can run a competent enough offense in the playoffs to make sure that his second best scorer, Tyrese Maxey, is able to get effective looks and is able to get put in positions to score.
Well, even if that's true, Mars, that he's able to run a competent offense, you see what happens in the playoffs when the game slows down. We know what you're running. At some point, it's basically like a boxing match. At some point, we got to fight. And I can only X and O you for a certain point until I just got to give you the basketball and get me a bucket and get downhill and create shots for yourself. And this gets exposed. James Harden was a prime example of that when he was in the playoffs, where we was running the offense and James Harden is dominating the basketball. Well, at some point, we recognize that he's their entire offense. All we got to do is just key on him, because there's no action off the basketball. There's nobody else doing anything. It's just James Harden with the basketball, throwing the ball between his legs. Well, if you get the Philadelphia 76ers, where if we're throwing the ball into Joel Embiid in the post and he's not as dominant like Olajuwon or Shaq or something like that, who else on this crew is going to create a shot for themselves? And if we can completely zone in on Joel Embiid and make these dudes create shots for themselves, like Tyrese Maxey, which Mars thinks he's deficient at that may very well be a problem for them, and that could sink them.
I think Tobias Harris is somebody who has the ability to create his own shot. I just don't think he's been given the opportunity as much I think every time he gets the ball individually, he's able to beat his man. I think he's quick for his size. So if Maxey is a problem, I think getting Tobias Harris some looks when they need a bucket would be an option that they could try.
Yeah, that's definitely possible. And I'm not saying I know more basketball than Nick Nurse. I'm definitely not even close. Obviously, these NBA coaches know a lot more than me. And I'm sure Nick Nurse is aware of what I'm saying.
Maul. Some of these guys are clueless. You'd be surprised, Maul.
Shout out to Doc Rivers, man. Yeah. But I'm sure you know what? I'm willing to go out on a limb. I'm sure Nick Nurse is aware of the same thing I'm aware of. I'm sure he's aware of Tyrese Maxey's self-creation. And I believe he is, because that's why I think he's running so much dribble hand. I think he's taken a leaf out of the Denver Nuggets playbook, in my opinion. The way he's using Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey in this little two-man game dribble handoffs, I think he's got a little leaf out of the Denver Nuggets playbook. He's like, Tyrese Maxey gonna be my Jamal Murray to Embiid's Jokic. I think that's what he's doing. I do, however, I think it's not going to be as effective, because I don't think Embiid is effective out the short roll. But I think that's what he's doing right now. I think for me, but one thing I'd maybe try is if you could find another competent entry passer, because that's one thing that's missing in the NBA. Someone spoke about it in the panel group chat, that when I spoke about it, entry passing is something that a lot of people can't do. But if they had another one who could do that, you could have Tyrese Maxey on the weak side, and like with the two other players on the weak side, actually use them as screeners to get Tyrese Maxey coming off a call off the weak side, where Embiid could hit him off the post double team. That could get him some more looks where he's getting downhill in that situation. You could also run some. They probably should run a lot more pistol with empty side. Joel Embiid at the elbow with Tyrese Maxey coming off the ball early. Let Tobias Harris bring up the court, hit Embiid. Tyrese Maxey sprinting full speed. You got empty side there for Tyrese Maxey to cut into. Probably should explore some of that. That would probably make it easier for Tyrese Maxey. But at some point, like Chill said, you're going to get into the fourth quarter of games in the postseason, especially against teams that switch a lot. For example, I'm really looking at Miami. I think Miami will deal with Philly, in my opinion. If they played right now, I got Miami in 5 or 6. That's how confident I am in them being able to deal with Philly's offense. Like a team that could switch everything, and you're going to rely on Tyrese Maxey shot creation. I don't believe in it, and that's where when I look at these contending teams, I look at things that I think translate to the playoffs. Like the Bucks, they're going to be a good regular season offense. They're going to be fine in the regular season. I don't think any of us doubted they were going to make the playoffs. But what we look for is patterns of how does this translate to the postseason? How Adrian Griffin using Giannis look in the postseason? Does he look like he's going to have the same flaws? Does it look like teams are going to be able to scheme against him the same way with Damian Lillard on the team? How does Damian Lillard look in the postseason? Is he still shooting from too deep? Is his shot selection good? How is he getting these shots? Is he running enough pick and roll? Blah, blah, blah. Are they doing things that are conducive for the postseason? Because we know these teams are going to be good in the playoffs. Same with the Boston Celtics. Are they just running 5-out offense, shooting a bunch of threes, or are they using Porzingis in the post? Are they using Jason Tatum in the mid post? How are they using these players to be conducive for the postseason? Same with the Denver Nuggets, same with the Lakers, blah, blah, blah. My issue is I think Philly have a great regular season team right now. I just don't see how it translates to the playoffs, especially against teams like the Celtics and the Heat. Now, the Bucks is a team I think they could beat. But the Celtics and the Heat, I don't see how they could win with how I see this team playing right now.
And that logic that you're using with Philadelphia is the exact opposite of what I'm seeing when I think about Cleveland, because I'm watching them yesterday without Donovan Mitchell, and the offense looked like it flowed a little bit more.
It looked amazing last night.
The offense looked like it flowed a little bit more because we had to get other guys involved. Like I talked about with Jared Allen rim running, with Jared Allen making Joel Embiid play defense in the mid post, getting Evan Mobley legit looks around the basket and in the mid post. The problem was they didn't have their guy who can shut the game down, which is what Philadelphia doesn't have in terms of a one-on-one scorer in Maxey. Cleveland actually has that in Donovan Mitchell. Now, the question is, can that offense flow like that with Donovan Mitchell in the offense throughout the regular season? They've shown that they can score with Donovan Mitchell, and they do have that one-on-one player. But does that thwart the rest of those guys? Does that slow down Jared Allen? Does that slow down Evan Mobley? Because I want those two guys working together because they actually look really good working together. And Darius Garland, he looks like he's getting more and more comfortable with both Evan Mobley and Jared Allen. Again, I'm not sold on Max Strus. He's not selling me the shooter that he is. He's not selling me that because I know that I could get a 7-for-11 game and then I can get 3 straight games where he goes 2 for 19. I know that for a fact. So because I've seen that from him. But with that being said, this Cleveland unit, the reason why I picked them where I picked them is because of what I saw last night. and the potential what they can do offensively, I know who they are defensively. Jared Allen being the rim protector that he is. Evan Mobley also being the rim protector, the perimeter defender, and the glass cleaner that he is. And what they can be offensively, I think that they could be a top 3 seed in the Eastern Conference, 100%.
Chill.
Go ahead, Ron.
Just right quick, watching that game last night, I didn't know that Allen and Mobley played so well together. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a combination of what's his name of Donovan Mitchell not being there, but the way they were cutting, moving, backdooring each other.
It looked like it's designed, doesn't it, Ron? Like it looked like it's scripted.
Yeah, but it's also simple offense. When somebody catches in the high post, dive. it's as simple as that.
And Ron, you're getting to exactly what I wanted to say. Thank you.
They were doing it flawlessly, but I'm gonna let you go though, Mars.
Well, because I'm not sure how much Evan Mobley's scoring is ever going to develop. I don't think he's ever going to be an elite scorer. I just don't see it. But his passing is great for a big. And the issue I have, a lot of people were like, we'll do fantasy drafts. Like we used to do fantasy drafts on here or wherever we do fantasy drafts. If you pick 2 people who can't shoot, all of a sudden, oh no, the offense is never going to work. You can't have 2 people who can't shoot. If you have competent passers who understand, especially high-low action, like Tim Duncan, David Robinson. If you have players
that's
like
what I see when that's what I see when I watch them.
We're on the same page. We're on the same page.
That's what I'm looking at when I'm watching them.
Where Evan Mobley can make those interior passes, entry passes over the top of the defense, and you just get easy looks routinely. Yes. That type of stuff will work if you have common sense, IQ bigs who can pass the ball. That's what Evan Mobley is to me. I think he's not. I don't think he's going to be a scorer, but he can be a hub. He can be someone who you can give the ball to at that elbow, and he can make the right reads. He can play with other bigs. He can play with guards. He can play out the short roll. That's what he is to me. I don't think he's ever going to be someone you give the ball to in the post and he's going to go get a bucket routinely. I don't think he's ever going to be a perimeter scoring big like Joel Embiid. I don't think he's ever going to do that. But what he can do is if you have a guard like Darius Garland and then you get Evan Mobley the ball and you have a guy like Jared Allen in the dunker spot, Evan Mobley can play with that 2-on-1 advantage, or he can play with that 4-on-3 advantage. That's the type of things that like you don't need 4 shooters on the court at one time. You could play Evan Mobley and Giannis and be fine on offense. You really could do it. Like it's not a foreign concept to just have people who can't shoot on the floor at the same time. You could play Evan Mobley and Asar Thompson on offense and be fine because they know how to play within an offense. They know how to cut. They know how to pass. They know how to make the right reads. You don't just need to stand in the corner, wait like PJ Tucker and be a floor spacer. That's not how offense is. But
what I don't want to misconstrue, Mars, is the fact that the offense ran the way it did yesterday with Donovan Mitchell, right? The fact that without Donovan Mitchell, I don't want to take away from the fact that Donovan Mitchell needs to be on this crew because he's their closer. He's the guy who, once like we just got finished talking about, when we get in the middle or the late in the third quarter, when we get late in the middle and late in the fourth quarter, when the offense has been figured out, and now I need buckets. Can I get a guy that can give me 2 or 3 straight buckets where I can just give him the basketball, we can run a screen and roll, or we can just get him matched up with a guy one-on-one where he's on an island. Can I get this guy to give me buckets? That's what Donovan Mitchell brings them. In addition to what he already brings them anyway in the offense, but he can give me that too. I don't want to misconstrue that Donovan Mitchell is necessary on this crew. It just looked like yesterday the offense, it flowed a little bit more yesterday because a lot of other guys were involved more than they were. So
JB Bickerstaff got to use Donovan Mitchell off the ball more. That's one thing. That's why I think the flow isn't as good because Darius Garland is someone you want the ball in his hands, like just as a decision maker. But for me, and I think the stats prove it, Donovan Mitchell is like top 10 in time of possession in the NBA. That shouldn't be the case.
He should be.
Donovan Mitchell can have the ball in his hands. We just spoke about his ability to reject. Well, I spoke about his ability to reject screens and run a pick and roll. He's great in that aspect. He's fantastic. When you have a guy like Darius Garland and a guy who can score off the ball like Donovan Mitchell, I think it's in everyone's best interest if you use them both in that way. I'm not saying Donovan Mitchell will only play off ball or Darius Garland only play on ball, but if you lower Donovan Mitchell's on ball loads and you increase Darius Garland's, that not only keeps guys like Evan Mobley engaged because Darius Garland can make those passes to Evan Mobley more routinely. It keeps guys like Jared Allen engaged because Darius Garland is one of the better lob passes in the NBA, especially coming off a pick and roll or getting downhill. Donovan Mitchell, also one of the best movement shooters coming off curls and pin downs, which Jared Allen can set off the ball and then he can dive to the rim. With Evan Mobley setting a ball screen, you've got 2 different actions going on at the same time. you just add a different layer to your offense, and I think that's where JB Bickerstaff is failing, in my opinion. Not failing, but I think he could be better in that regard if he just used Donovan Mitchell more.
And to in his defense, Mars, you have to understand what he's bringing over to his unit. He's bringing a bucket getter. He's bringing a top 5 scorer. So he's bringing a top 5 scorer, which he didn't have the year before that. So we're talking about a team in Cleveland that was a play-in team that they didn't have much scoring. Now I got a scorer on my team. Well, if I got a scorer on my team, what do I have to do? I got to give him the basketball. Now, not realizing that that's going to slow down a lot of other aspects of my offense, like we just talked about, that high-low action between Evan Mobley and Jared Allen, or taking the basketball out of Darius Garland's hands, which I don't really want. But this guy's going to get us to the next level in terms of our offense. He's going to get us higher than what we already were. But our defense is also going to help too, which is what happened last year with Cleveland. Why they were as good as they were, because defensively they were as good as what they were. Because if you look at them offensively, I mean, I don't think that they took a major jump. I feel like Darius Garland, who was an all-star the year before that, he took a step back because now he's got a guy on his team that averages as many points. I mean, Donovan Mitchell had a career year last year. He needs the basketball, and because he needs the basketball, that means that some other people's games are going to have to be sacrificed.
Yeah, and it's easy to, like, when you play with a bucket getter, and this could possibly be the reason why sometimes their offense is stagnant. When you play with a bucket getter, it's easy to look at him and just be like, all right, go get a bucket. And you find yourself watching instead of the ball moving, you cutting, and you actually playing basketball. It happens all the time. So once again, that's how Mars kind of alluded. JB Bickerstaff got to do a better job of incorporating the offense and just kind of getting Donovan Mitchell off the ball. But I mean, it's harder said than done, because it's like, it's easy for him to just get the ball and just go, and we just sit back and just look. And in regards to Evan Mobley too, you made a good point. Like, he doesn't necessarily, sometimes scoring is a little bit overrated. I would rather Evan Mobley stay this good of a passer and be a high IQ player and still obviously give you phenomenal defense than for him to average 25. He doesn't have to become a 25-point player to be essentially a franchise player over there. He doesn't have to do that.
Can you imagine Mobley giving you 18, 12, and 3 blocks plus passing the basketball the way he is? Yeah. How much better that Cleveland team would be?
That's KG.
Awesome. Yes, that's exactly who Kevin Garnett is. That's exactly who he is. 18,
I do
12,
think
and 3 blocks.
He's averaging 16 and 10 now, and he's only 22. I expect by the time he's 28 for that to still be at least 23. I expect for that to be the case. So I do think he's going to get better offensively. He's going to find his spots. He's going to just get better, I assume. And he'll probably develop a better jumper as well. So, I mean, I do think he's going to become a competent scorer. Number one option, maybe not, but he's going to get better at scoring no matter what.
For sure.
Yeah.
Jalen, Damo, you guys have anything about this Philly Cavs game?
I mean, sure. Looks like they broke it down to as much detail as you could. Mars and Chilltown over there. I just want to ask: so is Donovan Mitchell kind of their ball stopper then? Do you think he's ball stopping?
Not kind of that. I think that's exactly who he is. I mean, again, you're talking about a 26 a game guy. Remember when he got on that crew? Jalen.
Yeah.
Nobody on that team was over 25.
100%. Yeah.
Jared Allen, Okoro, Darius Garland, and Mobley, all kids. So now we bring in a proven playoff performer, a proven scorer on our crew to take us to the next level. Of course, they're going to concede to him. Now, is that good for the unit?
Mm-hmm.
In some aspects, yes. But when you get to playoffs, you saw what happened with the Knicks. So they could definitely stand to have more ball movement than what they had when Donovan Mitchell's on the floor. And I think he sees that too. I don't think that's something that he's looking at and going, well, when I get back on the floor, I'm going to get the ball and I'm going to go. No, I think he sees that.
Got you. He's smart enough to realize that.
I didn't really catch this game. That's why I really let them take it away. I don't want to speak out of turn. Everything I would say is just pushing propaganda or confirmation bias. So I was letting the hoopers talk. I was letting the ball talk be had. We need more of that. So yeah, didn't want to do any of that.
I will say now, this is back-to-back games against Jokic and then Embiid. I mean, I thought defensively they did a great job on Jokic and Embiid. Even though if you look at his box score, he did fine. Like I said, they made him work. So I think defensively, Jared Allen.
No, it's Tristan Thompson on Embiid for the game.
That was crazy.
I saw that he came in. I'm like, okay, Tristan Thompson.
Oh yeah,
still getting that check.
Can we
I
talk about
literally had
that
a-
final possession too?
I had a cousin. I had a conversation. with my
Which one? The Embiid one or the Tyrese
Yes.
Maxey one?
Yeah.
Embiid
I'm
one?
not so mad at the Tyrese Maxey one.
The Embiid one,
Tyrese.
I don't know why I wouldn't have put him in that position.
Mars, you and I
get
had
it.
this conversation yesterday. Where does Embiid play? He plays from where to where?
He plays from the outside in.
That's
Which-
not conducive, man. No.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't get why you put your 7'1", 280-pound big on Tristan Thompson, what, 6'9"?
Yeah.
Right? 6'9"?
Embiid has like 35 now.
35 years old, Tristan Thompson, and you've got him ISOing him 1-4 flat, basically.
Yeah.
Like you 6'6". Get your ass on the box. And end the
I
game.
don't know why I'm
What are you
seeing that.
doing? Get on the box and
But-
end the game. I almost had a fit. Oh my god.
Like, you
That's
see what
nuts.
Sengun did when he had LeBron on him?
Went straight, made a beeline to the box.
Yeah.
That's what
Made a
that's
beeline. Bring the ball
a
over here.
position I would have put Embiid in. But Nick Nurse, like I said, knows better than me, and he said, "You know what, Embiid, 1-4 flat. Yeah, that's my
Oh.
culture."
Maybe Embiid asked for it. Maybe Embiid's like, just give me the ball at the top and let me get a bucket.
Jalen,
Maybe he
no.
asked for it. You're start
As
playing.
a
You're in the huddle.
coach, as a
You're in the
coach,
huddle,
I
and
get
your
it.
star player
I
asks.
get it. I get it. I'm as a coach, I'm saying, okay, you want the ball?
Yeah.
I'm giving it to you right here.
I mean, I hear you. Trust me, I would have preferred him on the block.
Yeah,
too.
like,
But what if Embiid wants it up top?
Yeah, if your star player is telling you that, I'm like, all right, something's got to let him rock.
I'm not saying so. In this situation, and this is what a lot of coaches deal with, and I've come to realize this: one, watching my coach stand there with his hands in his pockets; two, listening to Mike Brown say he was allowing a 21-year-old LeBron to just run the show in the play, like in clutch moments in the playoffs. He was like, "Oh, well, hey, LeBron, take us away." So this isn't a foreign concept. What are you going to do if Joel Embiid, the guy coming off the MVP, says, "For the game, I wanted it at the top of the key"? Are you going to tell him no?
Yes.
Yeah, I was about to. Y'all
Yes,
don't want to hear what I'm
Damo.
gonna say.
Yeah, me personally, yes.
Yes.
Because
Damo.
I've been in many positions where at some point what you want isn't the best situation for us to win.
Mm.
And I'm like, well, why would we do that? When if you're better here, why would you want it here? And then why would I then oblige you by giving you the ball here when that lowers our chances of winning? Just because you want to prove that you can go get a bucket on a little hezzy step back? No.
That's why
Go
I'm
on
the
the high
coach,
post, go on
Damo.
the mid post, and kill him.
That's why I'm the coach, Damo. I ain't saying that you can't have input. I'm not saying that you can't have some say-so in some things, but there's a reason why I'm the coach. And Nick Nurse is a damn good coach. And he knows where Joel Embiid is the most effective. He has to know that.
Maybe not.
He has to know where
I mean,
Joel Embiid
Morris
is.
just said that Nick Nurse knows more ball than all of us, which I agree with that. But maybe he
has to
doesn't
know
know
that.
as much as we giving him credit for because he gave him the ball in a 1-4 flat with what it was 8 seconds to go, and Joel Embiid shoots a 2-dribble pull-up, fading to his right like he's Michael Jordan.
I literally just had a
And
conversation.
fading to your right is so much more difficult if you're a right-handed player too. It's not even like he went to his little left where you're more aligned. He went to his right, which is more difficult. Hey man, hey, whatever, it's cool.
Like overtime, and then he fouls out in overtime, which we're not going to get into that, but it shouldn't even went to overtime. I'm not blaming Maxey. I'm not blaming nobody. I'm blaming Joel Embiid because that is a terrible shot. If he makes it, it's one of those where it's like if you make it, all right, amazing. But that's just with the game on the line, that's a bad shot.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I do blame Maxey in this situation. This is the difference between having a guy like Maxey first and having a guy like Haliburton, because I could trust Hallie with the ball in his hands in that situation. And we might not even be in that situation with a guy like Hallie. But when you have a guy who, as Mars would like to say, can't create for himself, that puts a lot of pressure on Joel Embiid to do things like, I don't know, get the ball at the top of the key on a 1-4 flat, because that's your only option.
And this is why Haliburton's better than Maxey.
There we go.
He's for sure better, man. Yeah, he is better.
No doubt.
All right,
See,
y'all.
this is why I didn't want to talk. Propaganda.
It was a couple other games last night that we'll get into. I also want to get into the in-season tournament standings as of right now. We do know that 2 teams advanced. The Lakers advanced last night, and the Pacers advanced last night as well. So we'll talk about the in-season rankings and all of that. But we have super chats. So super chats will do. I'm gonna try to do my best Mars impression and get through all of these today. But hey, I mean, Tyrese
Just so
Maxey isn't as good as Haliburton. Maybe I'm
So,
not as
and,
good
and,
as.
and so we clear, Mars. Of the 9 shots that Joel Embiid made last night, 5 of them were within 5 feet of the basket. Get on the box, big fella!
He only made 9
Get
shots.
on the box!
9 for 20.
Please!
Yeah. A lot of free throws, Ron. 16 to be exact.
I'm sorry I'm
16 free
screaming.
throws.
I'm sorry I'm
Had 32
sorry I'm
points,
screaming.
which means had a bad night for MVP standards, if you ask
On the
me.
box.
I'm telling you, man. Free throws tell all.
sorry.
All right. Wayne said we need Damo on the big screen. Big Hallie talk.
Facts. Big Howard. Who we talking about? I love being right.
Suit said, "Yo, Damo, had no idea you were in Charlotte too. Might see you at the strippers game then."
Oh,
Hey, March 31st, pull up. I'm out there talking smack.
Taking pictures, kissing babies.
I'm the exact same. The funny thing is, I'm the exact same way in person I am like on anything I do. I have a clip of me. I took my mom to a Nets game because she wanted to go. I have my whole row, season ticket holders. Hey, Mozgov, you're trash. You suck, Mozgov. He's not even playing. He's on the bench the whole game, and I'm right behind the bench, calling him trash all game.
Why you on Mozgov case, yo? What are you doing?
Why did he take the $64 million from the Lakers? Why?
How dare you? How dare you
Who
take
would
money,
it?
man?
Yeah, who would it?
You
I'm
would
not
rob
even mad at
us.
it for that. I'm not even
What's
mad at
on
it.
your mind? What are you thinking?
Shout out Luol Deng too, taking his money.
Wait till I see him.
Oh shit. Cheese gifted 5 Players Choice memberships, and I think Mars took 2 or 3 of them. I'm not sure, but nonetheless, good job, Cheese. Donovan Samuels also gave Mars a couple memberships, and he gifted 10 away. Appreciate you, Donovan. You're the real MVP. Big Daddy P72 Palmer said, "Man, ticket ducking at Hallie smoke. 37 points, 16 assists."
Went off last night.
8 Gates Lee said, "Y'all saw Scoot shoot 9.5% from 3, and they sent him to the G League
For conditioning. He's in the G
Said this
League
for the
conditioning.
season.
Nah,
Dude
you
has
seen
very
that
little.
headline.
Now he
basketball
has
skills,
been
and
terrible.
He's athletic. He's athletic with no
But they
basketball.
sent him to the G League for conditioning.
What was
Y'all seen the headlines? He's back in the G League. You came out the G League and you're going back in it. Man, crazy.
Man,
What
life
was it?
comes full circle, huh?
What was the logic? What was the logic on Scoot when he was coming out? Really good competitor. Can't really shoot it. Doesn't
One of the
pass.
most athletic point guards.
One of the most athletic. Can't really shoot it. Doesn't pass it at an elite level. Small, but a great competitor. So all of that stuff, coupled in with jumping on a bad team. So we're gonna give him the basketball and expect all of this to work out. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't think the G League is a demotion because I don't think that NBA teams use the G League as much as they actually should. I think they should use it more. I think they should use the G League more. But with that being said, a guy like Scoot, him getting in the G League for reps, understanding the game more, and getting better, I think that would help him. I mean, it happens in baseball all the time. Guys get sent to AAA when they come off the 15-day disabled list, or they had a month-long injury, or a guy or a pitcher hasn't pitched in a little while. It happens in baseball all the time. I don't understand why teams don't use the G League.
The G League, like the minor leagues in baseball, I've always thought they should do that.
Well, I think it's a little different with baseball just because the timing to, hit a basketball to get that. I mean, to hit a baseball to get that back is a little different. But I still say, hold on, with Scoot, there was a lot of hype with Scoot coming out. People are realizing, his flaws now, but coming out, he's Russell Westbrook, Dwayne Wade comparisons I was hearing. People act like he's the next.
Based on what, though, Jalen? Based on what?
The athleticism.
Right. But when we actually start talking about his actual game.
100%. But like I said, he's an amazing athlete with very little basketball skills. That's what I thought. He's a great athlete.
Amazing athlete might be questionable. I'm not even gonna lie.
Oh, sure. I ain't gonna question his athleticism.
I think I may have been the biggest practitioner for Scoot over Brandon Miller up here because I didn't believe in Brandon Miller, and it's not that I believed in Scoot like crazy to be like, the second best player, because I thought Amen Thompson had the second highest ceiling in the class, but I believed in him over Brandon Miller. I'm concerned for how, like,
Be very concerned. Be very concerned.
because the flaws he has come from the fact that he was always just more athletic than everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So he didn't really have to refine his game. And really, like, if he comes off a pick and roll and he can turn that corner, he can get downhill. But that doesn't happen against NBA defenders. And because they don't respect your shot and they're going under the screen, they're already meeting you on the other side. So now you can't get downhill. And when you get downhill is when you're able to create. And because you're not getting downhill, you can't create. So then you end up just passing it back to the big and then just standing off the wall. But then you can't shoot, so they leave you alone. So then when they give you the ball again and you try attack a closeout that never comes because they don't close out to you, you're then stuck again. So you know what you do? Ball reversal to the big man again. He can't do anything. He can't shoot, but he can't get downhill. So there's nothing he can do on offense. And he's not a good enough passer to where, like, normally if you can't shoot, but you're a good enough passer, teams still have to like play you high, because if you give a great passer just a bunch of space to just scan the floor, they can still kill you. That's why teams had to play high on guys like Jason Kidd and Rajon Rondo. You couldn't just gap them completely because they would just pick apart defenses, just seeing everything unfold with no ball pressure. And when teams did that on Rondo, he would kill them. But Scoot Henderson's not a good enough passer to where he punishes teams that gap him. So offensively, he has to figure out how to shoot. And if he doesn't, he might not last very long. And I'm not one to like push bust agendas up. He's played like 7 games, I think. Mm-hmm. But the route for him to be successful is very clear. And he needs to do it. Otherwise, I don't see how he can sustain.
Well, 2 things, Ron. Number one, what Mars said, just so you guys know in English, what Mars said, just because you're bigger, faster, and stronger than everybody, that's not going to work when you get to the next level. Because
It works in Little League. It works in youth sports a lot of time early.
Just because you're faster than everybody, where you were playing, when you get to the next level, there's other guys who are fast like you too. There are other guys who are athletic like you too. Number 2, what I got out of that was Scoot need to learn how to play basketball at the pro level, because he does not. Period. If we're going to talk about Scoot and all of his attributes, ultimately, Scoot Henderson does not know how to play basketball at the professional level, period. And if he's going to stick around, he needs to learn how to. Now, I understand him being in the G League. That should help him, because I've said this to you in the past, Damo. When I get to the NBA, I'm not a pro. I got pro potential. It's your job to teach me the pro game. I may have the attributes, but it is your job to teach me the pro game. I don't really know this game like I knew the college game. I don't know this game like I knew the EuroLeague game. I have to learn this game, and it's your job to teach it to me.
No. Any other time I would agree with that, except for in a situation like this. Yes, I do feel like it's a team responsibility to teach you the NBA game, develop you at the NBA level, but at the bare minimum, you need to be able to play NBA basketball. I can't teach you the NBA game if you can't play it. These guys that are being taught the game, they can play the game. Their talent, their abilities, the things they're able to do, or in some facet, even if you're not a guy that's going to score, something you do in terms of your hustle, your IQ on defense, your energy, anything, you bring something to the NBA at an NBA level. And guys find that strong what they need to do. But if you can't do nothing at an NBA level, there's nothing I can teach you. What do you want me to teach you if you can't play this game at an NBA level?
I think that the athleticism is there. The ball handling is there. Mars just said it. The fact that he comes off a screen, when he's coming off a screen and he gets downhill. Well, he can't get downhill because the guys at that level are just as fast as him, and they beat him to spots. So he doesn't know how to dribble pull up. So when he gets downhill and guys are there to beat him to the spot, and the big man shows, he doesn't realize that he doesn't realize how to be patient enough to get the other big guy who just came up to help on him, get that big guy a shot. He doesn't know that. Now, I understand what you're telling me, Damo, in terms of, you have to know how to play basketball. I do know how to play basketball. I'm not sure I know how to play basketball at the NBA level. It's not like playing basketball at the high school level, at the college level. This game is different than what I'm used to playing. And because this game is different than what I'm used to playing, I got the attributes. I'm obviously fast. I'm obviously strong. I can handle a basketball. The shooting, I can work on that. That can come, right? The other stuff, learning how to come off pick and rolls, learning how to defend, learning how to run a team at the pro level. That's stuff that you got to teach me because I don't really know how to do it.
He had a whole season in the G League though. Like he had a whole season in the G League. I don't know why his game didn't get more refined or more conducive to the NBA game. When he
Jalen, he spent 2 years in the G League. Remember, he was the youngest G League player ever. So he was there at 17 and 18? 17 and 18. I'm assuming.
So 2 years in the G League.
We talking about a kid, yo.
But that's the problem, though. Chill. Like, just because he was good at 17 doesn't mean he's going to be good at 20. Like,
well, he should be.
He must.
Yes, he look like Anthony Bennett.
He might. First off, he's only 19. He has a long way to go. I still believe that Scoot can be a competent NBA player just because he has so much time. But also, too, though, like people develop at different stages. Just because he could have spent 5 years in the G League. Right. That might not have helped him. But
Dale, you just brought all them Twizzlers for just you. You ain't bringing somebody else. That's what you're doing. That's what's going on around here. You're just going to eat these Twizzlers and come to the class and make nobody else.
So you got to peel it and eat it. That's the way to do it. You got to peel the Twizzlers.
That's what Dale is.
Dale up here tormenting you guys with his Twizzlers. That's crazy.
Okay.
What's up, though, Dale? Talk to us. How you feeling today?
What up?
What was on that? Where's Ticket? You know, I always come in. Where's Ticket?
We actually having basketball conversation today. And
okay, let's do
basketball talk.
That's what we doing, man. We talking basketball.
What else Aladdin talking about? I haven't seen Aladdin in a while.
Man, what we talking about today, man? What we talking about today? I didn't think of a nickname for Dale too. I just don't know who. I was thinking Chris Rock at first, but no, we gotta be someone better.
I can't get smacked.
Oh damn. But yeah, Dale. We talked a little bit about the Lakers. They advanced to the knockout round of the in-season tournament. Talked about Haliburton going crazy last night. Talked a little bit about the Cavs popping the Sixers last night. Is it anything that you specifically have on your mind?
I did a $5 ticket, and the Cavs being Philly, and somebody else lost that I thought was going to win. I thought the Hawks was going to win as well, and Hallie did that. So them 2 games made me lose.
Did they screw up your parlay? Y'all?
Yeah, I'm gonna send it in the chat.
Joel Embiid missed his assist prop and killed my parlay too, which is so you got overtime too, and you couldn't get over 5.5 assists. He had 5.
You took the over on Embiid assists?
Yeah,
100%. That was great. 100%.
It's a new year. It's a new year.
The Suns is picking up some wins. That's actually okay. You know.
Your boy KD looking phenomenal. Got to give him.
I don't like people praising KD.
So you like the only one everyone hating?
Because he expects this from KD, man. You should know this is who KD is.
I don't like the praises because this might sound, but KD always plays good though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He always plays good, like around this, like y'all only strife should be like in the postseason. Mm-hmm. So how he's playing now, y'all shouldn't even be like surprised. Y'all should just wait till he gets to posting because that's how y'all gonna judge him anyway.
So even at this age, you don't think it should be given extra credit? He's what, 35 now?
Well, he just turned 35 last
35 is
in September. I'm sorry.
35 is the new 31, 32.
No, it ain't. No, it is not.
But 35 off a career-ending Achilles injury?
No, it's not, Dale.
Yeah, no, but
who else at 35 is doing what? Okay, Jordan won the league MVP at 35. James, if the COVID doesn't shut the season down, he would have probably won the league MVP at 35. Malone won the league MVP at 36. Who else is doing this, playing at this level at age 35?
But you're okay. When I say that, you're naming like
Steph,
the Hall of Fame guys. You see what I'm saying? Like right. You ain't named no slouch at 35 where you think they wouldn't be doing this. Like the anomaly is LeBron James. LeBron, that's it. That's it. 38 going on 39 or whatever. I don't know his age doing what he's doing is ridiculous. Like whatever it is, he's been able to like. Because Bron is playing all NBA basketball right now,
right? At
that age, I don't think KD being 35. No one was thinking what do you think his slow up would have been? You see what I'm saying?
I think we all expect him to average over 25 this year.
Yeah, what would his?
But I thought with a torn Achilles, what was that? 4 years ago now?
Yeah,
when he was 30, 31.
Man, that shit seemed like it was just yesterday.
5 years ago, he did it in the finals.
So for me, it's less about him being 35. It's year 17. He's torn his Achilles, and he's still probably the best regular season scorer in the NBA.
Still,
If not one, he's two.
But
That's amazing, and I think that deserves his credit.
His game was never predicated on like full Achilles.
Neither was Klay's, and respectfully.
No, okay, let's talk about Klay.
They have like the ACL, MCL, and the Achilles.
They also had ACL, MCL, Achilles.
A little more.
towards knee up.
Mm-hmm.
Towards knee up.
After each other. And my thing with Klay also is like, what's happening to Klay? His shot is not falling.
No, I think he's less explosive.
Why do you think that is?
It's like it's a lot.
Here's
It's a
the
lot
thing,
with Klay.
There's a reason for that. Like you keep saying his shot's not falling, but keep going. There's a reason for that.
Okay, no, but what I'm saying is like when you say Klay, I don't like you say his Achilles or like I'm not giving him all of that just yet. I'm thinking Klay just in the worst slump of his life, honestly. No, I'm not on it. That's what I think. That's what I'm thinking.
So you don't think?
Because I'm not thinking Klay forgot how to shoot. We're not gonna do that.
Okay,
on open threes, I think people still think Klay can make open threes.
Right,
it's everything else that has.
Right.
And I watched the Warriors game last game, and because when I want to judge Klay, I'll watch him like how he laterally moves, and it's not even as bad as I thought it was based on how much he was bricking. It's not like people was attacking him, going right by him. He's looking lazy, laboring. He wasn't even doing that. So I'm like, damn, Klay, either something's going on in your mind or you just off. I didn't think of the injury at all. I didn't personally. I didn't think of the injury. Like I didn't.
And with the Achilles
thing,
with Durant, with the Achilles thing,
on offense, he looks like he can't move.
No, but like, watch him on defense, Mars. You'll see like like it's not an easy go get a bucket on Klay. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but he is guarding bigger guys. He is guarding bigger guys now. He's not. Back in the day, he was guarding the guards, and now he's guarding wings because he's slower, and that's fine. He
understood. No, I'm saying he's still holding his own. Like he had a couple of possessions on Anthony Edwards. Edwards was scoring, but he still was slowing down Anthony. He had some good stops on Edwards. Edwards tried to get by him. He bodied him off. He contested the shot. He was still there. And Anthony Edwards, I don't know, when he played the Warriors, he's playing with, no, I'm going at these boys. So that's what I'm saying. That's how I was judging, like, oh, Klay, you could still move a little. So I don't know what's going on the other end. That joint looking crazy. But I love Klay, though. I would still take Klay today. Right now,
over who?
Mars ran down a bunch of dudes that are not the guys that Mars ran down. I'm still having a difficult time thinking.
Wait,
I mean,
that's better
when I hear the word. Yeah, no, Mars used the word.
Hate the list, though. You'd hate.
Yeah, Mars used the word washed, and I'm thinking to myself, damn man, washed.
You'd hate when you hear KCP on that list.
He's showing washed tendencies. I'm telling you, he's looking like he's at the laundromat. I don't know.
KCP over Klay. Yes.
Wait, can you name the list, or was this today, or this was prior?
Oh no, we'll go through it. So basically, it was naming off guards who I take over Klay.
Okay, like 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So Derek, I'm just gonna go through the teams. Derek White, I'm taking him.
No.
DeAnthony Melton, I'm taking him.
No.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy though? Honestly speaking, sorry to cut you off. The first two names, the Celtics, I believe the Celtics, and I believe the Sixers would trade DeAnthony Melton and Derek White for Klay Thompson.
Financially, they probably wouldn't, but I get your point.
Go ahead.
Tyler Hero, I'm taking.
Okay, I can see Tyler. Yes, I can see Tyler.
France technically plays the two, but nah. But Orlando, I'll give you. Bruce Brown, I'm taking. I'm taking Emmanuel quickly and Quentin Grimes over him. Donovan Mitchell is obvious. DeJounte Murray, I think, is obvious. Cam Thomas, I think, is obvious. I'm taking Alex Caruso, taking Zach LaVine. I don't want to say I'm taking Miles Bridges, but I would. I'm gonna take Marcus Sasser too. Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards, I think is obvious. Anthony Edwards, I think is obvious. KCP, I'm taking. Josh Giddey, Kayson Wallace, I'm taking both of them. Kyrie, I think is obvious.
Kayson's a hooper.
I know, but he said
I got Kyrie, I think is obvious. I'm taking Josh Green. I'm not taking Jaden Hardy. Let me check. I'm taking Josh Green. Malik Monk, I'm taking. Kevin Huerter, I'm taking. Austin Reeves, I'm taking. Wow. Damn near take Grayson Allen. Bradley Beal, I'm taking. Jalen Green, I'm taking.
You
Damn
take
near
Cam
Jordan
Reddish?
Hawkins. Who?
Cam Reddish?
Oh, for sure taking Cam Reddish. For sure taking Cam Reddish. Go on. Taking Moses Moody on his own team over him.
Now we get disrespectful.
No, I'm not. Norman Powell, I'm taking.
This sound wild as hell, right?
Yeah, taking Norman Powell, taking Jordan Clarkson. Might take Keontae George too. Desmond Bain.
Focus, Damo.
Desmond Bain, Shaden Sharp, Devin Vassell.
That's like 30 guys, Mars.
Yeah,
It might have been more than that. That might have been like.
That's
Yeah,
like
I
30 guys.
stopped at that list when I heard like names I didn't even.
And I'm actually glad that you up here, Dale, because I got a question for you. So as of today, right?
That's mine first before I
yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna bring this to December 1st. I remember being on this show like last year,
Mm-hmm.
and we compared players. We always compare this play, and it's still early, and he might turn it around. But I might have been the only one that say Tyler Hero is better than Jordan Poole. I got ridiculed.
Yeah, you might be the other one there.
Yeah, I was with you.
Oh, I don't remember. Mars probably was with me. Everybody,
I was with y'all too.
stop.
The Jordan Poole hype was pretty insane. The Jordan Poole hype, we
I'm
were all
like,
on Jordan Poole
bro,
train.
I'm like, I get it. I get this, and we change. Even Jordan Poole, how he's been playing has surprised me this year. But I think if you compare him and Tyler Hero now, y'all could see that Tyler Hero is the better player. Because I saw Tyler Hero without, maybe it's the culture of Miami compared to Wizards. We could do all of that, throw that in there. But Tyler Hero is a better basketball player than that kid that's in Washington Wizards. He's like,
Come on. You said Jordan Poole surprised you in a good or bad way?
in the back, I thought he was going to be better than
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm about to say.
The narrative about Jordan Poole was he'd be like a top 10 scorer in the league this year. He's going to average 24, 25 points.
That's what
That's what everyone thought he was going to take. You know what I mean? That was who we thought Jordan Poole was.
I knew that wasn't going to happen.
But we all agreed it was going to be a bad 24.
Oh, it's going to be awful. I had Washington as the worst team in the league.
That was like a bad 15 or
Not like
16.
this.
You know what I mean? Like
bad. This is bad. I
it's
hope
bad.
you turn it around because this is bad. This is like. This is
Mars,
like,
are you taking Quigley over Klay Thompson?
Yes.
wait, what's
And
the question?
just to clarify, one main reason why I'm taking these guys over Klay is because Klay still thinks he is what he was. These guys aren't as detrimental to their offenses as Klay Thompson is.
So it's a
'Cause if you
mindset.
see the shots Klay Thompson takes, that he has no business. I'm sorry, I don't care how good you used to shoot. I don't care how good you used to be. You have no business taking shots, fading to your right over two people because in 2017 you had a 25-point quarter. That doesn't make sense to me. He is a detriment to his team's offense with some of the shots he takes. KCP might not shoot the ball as well as Klay Thompson, but I can guarantee you he ain't taking shots over four people because he thinks he's the second best shooter of all time. And I guarantee you on defense, he's going to give me more than Klay Thompson does. Same thing with Emmanuel Quickly. Same thing with Quentin Grimes. That's why I'm taking a lot of these guys because Klay Thompson, I genuinely believe is a negative on his team. And when he starts making some of these, what's he shooting from three? Let me pull up the statistics. Let me get.
It's the worst. I can tell you right now, Mars. It's the worst 3-point percentage of his career. I think he's shooting 33% on the long ball. This is the worst.
It's gone up since the Houston game, so he's at 34.3%.
Okay.
I think it's going to go up. I won't be surprised if he ends the season 39 or 40%, and I'm still going to have the same take because I thought he was washed last year. So I've been on this train. I thought he was washed last year. I think he's been washed since he's come back. This hasn't changed for me because his shot selection is terrible. I've never seen someone take so many one-legged mid-range fadeaways and never make one. I've never seen it. I don't know why he keeps doing it. It blows my mind. I've never seen someone who couldn't ISO 7 years ago in their prime try and ISO the best wing defenders in the NBA. I've never seen it. All he does is
got the green light, run through the lights.
Hezzy and try drive. It never works, but he tries it every time. Those plays is why I'm taking these guys over Klay Thompson because he thinks he can do things he couldn't even do in his prime. I don't know why he's trying to do these things, but he's hurting his team by doing them. Emmanuel Quickly would never do such a thing. Quentin Grimes would never do such a thing. Tyler Hero would probably do such a thing, but he's a better scorer than Klay Thompson. So I'm fine with him.
Yo, I get what you said, Mars, in terms of Quentin and Quickly never doing them, but you can't give them the credit because they're low maintenance because they never was able to do that. They would never be able to.
Because Klay Thompson should be low maintenance right now, but he's not.
No, I understand that, but you're saying I would take them over. their bomb or their detonation is still not Klay Thompson yet. I get Tyler Hero because Tyler Hero is a better scorer, but some of the names you named, like you can't even just take them because when put in that fire of the Warriors, who the Warrior is, honestly, like Quentin Grimes is not better than Moody to me. Like he's not good to me at all.
Oh, he's not. I don't think he's better than Moody.
Yeah, he's not good to me at all.
Moody's
Like,
better than Klay.
Quickly, I'm surprised you didn't say Bones Highland. I get those type of whatever, but they're still not better than Klay. I get Hero, who's proven, but quickly coming off the bench of the Knicks where they look for him to score and all that stuff, and they won't take one leg because they never had that. Like, to me, Klay is just in a slump and he'll be fine. I still have them coming out the West, by the way.
I think if Quickly started taking one-legged mid-range pull-ups, he'd hit more than Klay.
But the point is, Klay's living off a reputation that he deserves his reputation. If we do top 5 shooters of all time, I'm sure most people have Klay Thompson in that list. I'm sure most people do. Now, I know some people don't have Klay because they're like, well, off the dribble, he's not great. The mid-range, blah, blah. I get it. But most people have Klay Thompson in the top 5, if not number 2. Most people. But right now, the shots he's taking are not justified. I'll go. The OKC game is a clear example to me. If you saw the shots he took in that fourth quarter and overtime because he had a decent first half, Steph Curry shouldn't even take those shots. There was a play. He got back-to-back shots. He took a fading 3 to his right, missed it. They got the rebound. Steph gave him the ball back with 10 seconds on the shot clock, and he took a contested 3. Why is he doing that? No one told him to do that. But he was like, Klay Thompson. What are you doing? Those plays. Yes, Emmanuel
He's being told to do that. He's being told to do that.
No, I promise. There's no way they're telling him to do that.
Steve Kerr is telling him to do that by letting him play.
Because there's no.
It could be that, but I'm saying I'm gonna tell you why Quickly wouldn't shoot a one-legged 3. Because he knows if he shot a one-legged 3, Tom Thibodeau gonna put his ass on the end of the bench. And Tom Thibodeau might send him to the locker room. Go to the locker room. Take your jersey.
That's the problem.
Klay is being unable to do that.
Okay,
6 years ago, but he's not that guy anymore.
They could go get traded to the Knicks right now and take a one-legged 3.
And it would be based off reputation, right?
Yes, but that's what I'm saying. So that's my
problem to me.
Yeah, understandably so. But if Vince Carter is coming out saying, "Yo, I could still do a between the legs dunk," we're gonna believe him. And believe him. We're gonna believe him because his reputation is that man got bounce, he could dunk. So I get your point. Your time has passed, et cetera, et cetera. But more times than none, his reputation of being that sniper, it is what it is. You say he's at 34.3. That's some people career 3-point percentage. So yes, it's terrible for Klay Thompson. You said I get you, Morris. He be bugging, he be wilding. But Grimes, Alex Caruso, stop, yo.
Why are you saying his name like that?
I'm not saying not even a question.
Do you know who Caruso is?
Caruso is not even a question in my mind.
Let's get on let's talk Caruso now. Who is
Alex?
Who is
the best perimeter?
If not one, number 2.
Mars, Dell's logic is exactly your logic. Dell's logic is exactly your logic. Dell think Klay Thompson is a better basketball player than Caruso. You think what Caruso brings to a unit is more valuable than what Klay does. That's where Dell is.
If they played one-on-one, give me Caruso.
Facts.
That's how. I don't have the basketball player debate. I don't care. Alex Caruso is better than him 1-on-1, 2-on-2, 3-on-3, 4-on-4, 5-on-5. Play 6-on-6. He's better than him. I don't care. He is better than Klay Thompson.
Caruso shooting 50%
right now.
You see,
Alex Caruso is better.
Time out. You see, this is why this is why this show and just talking basketball is just so. Alex Caruso, right?
Wait a minute. Hold on. This show? What are you talking about, Dell?
The show. The conversation we have, yes.
Okay, keep going.
Where Alex Caruso, I guess he's having a hell of a beginning regular season. He's playing well.
He's been this
on defense.
I would have said the exact same thing last year. Just putting that.
Alex Caruso was okay last year, whatever. So he didn't make the playoffs. Did they make playoffs last year?
No.
The Bulls? Chicago? So,
they
so when we get in, this is what I meant, chill. For when we get into the conversation, for some players, they could do what Caruso, how good he's playing, and then it'd be like, we'll just wait to the playoffs. And then to say he's better than some. Like KD could do what he's doing, and Giannis could have been slipping off. But most people on this panel would still say Giannis is the better player. Just because until we wait till we get to the playoffs. Right. My take is, or what I've always felt like, yes, Caruso is playing all this well. Why are y'all not waiting for his till he get to the playoffs or get on the team playoffs for him to play this magical for y'all to rank him over someone as good as
I seen his defense in the playoffs in 2020.
Thank you. I seen him in the championship playing this level of defense.
Championship though.
Wait.
He's on the Lakers.
Let me ask you on what they was doing. And I'm gonna be totally honest right now. The Lakers was winning that championship without Alex Caruso.
You can believe I saw his defense in 2022 in the playoffs.
But let's not go to Alex Caruso for the bubble, please. The way Anthony Davis and LeBron James was playing, let's not do that, please.
I didn't say the bubble.
And the key player
he did add to that though.
Run was
he was doing what he does in the playoffs.
Dwight Howard against Jokic. That was the key matchup to got them to do what they did to Miami.
That was a big moment, but in terms of
I think Caruso was more
why are we waiting to see? Why aren't we waiting to see if he does it in the playoffs? Because he's done it in the playoffs before. He's played great defense in the playoffs.
He's getting a steal here. He's not doing all over the place like he is in Chicago. I watched him play one time.
He did it.
No. Stop.
Oh my God, wow!
You know why?
He
would have never let him go. They would have never let him go. He
played.
They
believe the Taylor.
That's not true. They let everybody go.
If there's anyone in the chat who agrees with Dell on this Alex Caruso playoff thing,
watch him against the
Bucks in 2022 and tell me he wasn't playing.
Number one, Dell. Number
that question. The way he playing now is how he played in the bubble when they won the chip.
The way he playing now. Yeah,
he shot the ball really bad in the
as a defender.
But offensively, he's been really bad in the bubble. He was actually really bad in the bubble offensively.
I didn't think Alex Caruso was the best guard defender in the NBA in 2020.
Tell that's what I'm saying, Mars.
I think he was elite, but I don't think he was the best guard defender in the NBA.
Damo said he was the best, and all y'all telling me he was this in 2020. I still don't think he's the best.
I did not say he was the best. In 2020, I said he played great defense. That's all I said.
No. Just now you said he's 1 or 2 the best defender right now, and you just said
right now, yes, absolutely.
Right. And just now you said he was doing the same thing in 2020. So that means you have to have the same.
You said your question was, why aren't we waiting to see if he can do it in the playoffs? And my response,
he's doing it now.
Again, my response was because we've seen him be a great, phenomenal defender in the playoffs. We've seen it.
No, the way
maybe a level below it, but even if it's a level below it, that's still great, Dell.
No. Listen, and I'm gonna go again. Timeout. Alex Caruso in the playoffs in 2020, whatever hell he was doing, right? It's not the level of right now because he would have been on that pedestal of right now or way higher. So when I'm saying to you that, tell me when he's doing, it's like let's say a Chris Middleton, how he comes out and close games in the playoffs back then. Are we still waiting? Is he going to get back to that or whatever? He's not the same player then or now. Caruso is better now, but what y'all saying to me is he's the best defender in the NBA on ball based on how many games is it? Because none of y'all said this last year. Not one soul.
What's that last year?
Please, the chat has to have my back on this. I was saying this last season.
Mars and I actually got into a heated debate because I still think
he was the best defender.
Yes, we got into a heated debate about this. I thought it was Drew Holiday.
That's my fault.
We got into a heated debate about this.
Okay,
and my issue with Caruso was the fact that he didn't play as much. That was my issue. That was my issue. Mars and I got into a heated debate about this.
I don't even think he's better than Drew Holiday. And I said this.
We had that conversation like last week.
Yes, right. Yes, I said that because what does he ask for? They got Zach LaVine, they got DeMar DeRozan. Right now, I'm talking about the Bulls. That's on the offensive side of the ball. So Caruso's main cog is to focus in on locking up. If he has more intangible probably than Drew because he has to ask to do that.
Right.
But when if he's giving Drew responsibility on offense, is he the same defender? Is he still the same defender?
Okay, we ain't talking about
offensively. Probably not. When a player has more offensive responsibility,
but we're not talking about Alex
less
Caruso.
defensively.
But we're not talking
Caruso
about Alex
doesn't,
Caruso. What is Caruso main? What is his main attribute? It's him as a defender. We're not talking about Alex Caruso as a ball handler, as a distributor. We're not talking about any of that. We'll stay here. Okay, we'll stay here.
Yeah, right. So keep it defensively. I still think, based on what Drew is being asked for and the way he plays defense, he's still better than Caruso on the defensive side of the ball.
You ain't gonna get an argument for me. I think Drew Holiday.
That's all I'm saying.
If you think Drew is better, that's fine. But there's a conversation
I'm fine
to be
with
had.
Drew Holiday. I'm fine. If someone says Drew Holiday is the best defensive guard in the NBA, I'm not gonna argue because I'm perfectly fine. I think they're both kill me. I think they're both all-time great guard defenders. I don't think you can name 10 better than both of them, personally. But
I'm sorry,
how many can you name in the NBA right now better than Caruso? Drew and who else?
No, I gotta watch Caruso again.
You have hey Dell. We talking as an on-ball defender. He's arguably the best on-ball defender in the game. His ability to get around screens, his ability to recover, because you know how I am, Dell, about getting beat. Can you recover? He's huge in recovering. And to your point, Dell, when you talked about why did the Chicago Bulls let him go? Not why did Chicago? Why did the Lakers let him go? Yo, the general manager for the Lakers is on record saying that was a mistake. He's on record saying that. Letting Alex Caruso walk out the front door was a mistake. He's on record saying that.
6'4"?
Something like that. 6'4", 6'5". Yeah. Something like that.
Also,
how long until
offensively, he's not just like he's not Andre Roberson.
He is not.
Oh no, not at all. Stop. Don't bring up that name. I just had a conversation about him yesterday. I will not. Don't talk about him, yo.
I don't.
What about defensively, Assert Thompson? How long until he gets put in that elite class? Because he's
a wing. He's in a wing. He's in a wing.
Okay, wing.
And I'm already.
He was guarding SJ.
Yeah, he's already in the top 3.
My opinion. He's top 5 of mine.
Is Jaden McDaniels, Assert Thompson?
What team Jaden plays for?
Timberwolves.
Yeah, Timberwolves.
His brother's in Toronto, but he
plays defense.
We got the worst one.
I think he's out for a couple of weeks now with an ankle.
Yeah, but
I'm glad I actually got you up here, Dell, because I wanted to ask you a question.
Yeah, you said something right.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you a question. So as of today, right? As of today, your man KD is, I think, 13th all time on the scoring list.
11.
Okay, I'm sorry, 11th. 11th all time on the scoring list.
Last night.
He's a little under 5,000 points behind Jordan, who's 5 all time on the scoring list. At 35 years old, in order for him to pass Jordan, he'd have to average 21 a game over the next 4 years. Can he do that?
Yeah, he could do that, but he's not staying that long, I think.
I don't think he's going to be around that long.
You think he's out after this contract?
How many years left?
And 3 more years left after this. 3.
Okay.
No, you're right, Mars. Including this year, it's 3 years.
Okay, so 2 after this.
I don't know if he's retiring a Phoenix Sun either, though.
Oh, they make another move.
Damn.
See, I think he'll play long enough to pass.
I never talked to him about this. I'm just thinking like he does. It depends on how the 3 years goes. How he want to sail out. I just don't know if it's in the Phoenix Suns. That's me. Just you know what I'm saying. I don't know if it's in the Phoenix.
No insider information. Just
zero at all.
My train of thought is
his thought was he's retiring a Brooklyn Net. That I could wholeheartedly say.
And by the way, too, Dell, I'm thinking in the aspect because I was doing some numbers on this. This would be over the next 4 years. This would be 60 games a season at 21 a game.
Right. So now
over the next 4 years,
this is why I think his scoring is like fire, like elite, because that boy been hurt, yo. And I'm just saying, if he had an average of 75 games, 70 games a season, he'd probably be top 5 right now, possibly. Like even in his prime, or either before that year or after.
He's missed 2 full seasons of injury.
Right.
I think he'd be second behind LeBron if he was fully healthy throughout his career. He might even pass LeBron if he was fully healthy.
But if he stays at 20 a season, I think that's light for him, honestly.
Well, I mean, he's showing us right now that 30 a game, he's low-key making it look easy. So, Chill, you said 21 for the next 4 seasons?
Over the next 4
years. He's not averaging 21. KD's averaging closer to 30 than he is to 20. So, it's
what I'm saying, though, what I'm saying, Ron,
after 3 seasons.
What I'm saying is that averaging out, like this, let's say this 30, and then the next year it's going to go down. So, it's going to average out to that over the next 4 years. Can he do that?
That's what I'm saying, though. I'm expecting him
a world where KD averages less than 24 in the NBA.
Yeah.
Even his last season. Yeah,
with the way the game's speeding up,
Yeah.
And his skill
If
set,
KD's out there and playing 28 plus minutes, I don't see a world where he's averaging
and
less
his
than
skill
24.
set, yeah, he's just a bucket.
And like he works on the times of the game. Like all summer, if you watch him work out, and it's literally same repetition, just faster based on how the speed and nothing that he's not gonna do on the game. Like literally just 1-2 drill, pull up, catch and shoot threes. Is no. He had Chet in the
wasted. Nothing
yeah,
wasted.
nothing wasted. And it's like
Right.
honestly, like 50 minutes to an hour of just pain work going through. So he still loves the game and he'll play up until then. And Booker is giving him a new sense of like, oh, this young cat coming. So all right, I'm gonna still show him like I still
got the goods.
He been out playing Booker too, like the last week or so.
But he don't look it like that, or D-Book don't look it like that. D-Book, he's on record saying like, nah, honestly, watching from afar, he's been one of my favorite players to watch. And like KD has never been a overbearing, like, yo, I'm pulling up and I'm taking this, or you gotta like, nah, I'll mesh with you. Like, you go do your thing. It's not like this ain't a knock on Braun. If Braun coming over, you gotta lean back. Like, damn, that's LeBron, yo. I gotta find my ways here and there. Booker, KD just laid back last playoff. Had the whole world on his panel saying that's Devin. Devin Booker.
That's true. That's true.
into the chat. For me to say that KD is just buckets, that doesn't mean that he's just buckets. That's like saying that a chick, yo, she just fine. That don't mean she's just fine. That means she just fine. I ain't saying that KD is just buckets, but he is just buckets. Man, he is just buckets.
It's about to turn. It's about to turn. You gotta understand the turn.
100%.
Yeah, that's not taken away from what you said.
His rebounding, his passing.
I get what you're saying.
Man, he's just buckets.
That's like saying, damn, Steph is a shooter. You ain't saying he can't do nothing else, but he's that good that damn.
In terms of KD's scoring thing, in terms of KD's scoring thing, I think he for sure passes Jordan. Right. I think after this 3 seasons, if he's close, I think KD in his head, KD 100% thinks he's the greatest scorer of all time. I think he has a case that's fine, but he's the greatest. So. Yeah, rightfully so. 100%.
For real, rightfully so.
And passing Michael Jordan as a legacy thing and scoring, 100%. That's the thing. And I've said it before too. Like I said, KD, no family, no kids. A lot of these athletes, when they get later on in their career, it's I want to spend time with kids, spend time with the wife, so they retire. KD got nothing holding him back. I think KD's going to play a lot longer than we might think. And if he even gets to Karl Malone, I wouldn't be shocked.
Who?
Malone.
Who? Number 32?
Yeah, Karl Malone. Yeah, him.
Even if he passes him, I would not be shocked.
Yeah, that's what I said. If KD sticks around, I got him going number 3.
But I also got your man too. Del. I got this basically coming to an abrupt halt. And I don't mean from injury. Like KD, like Barry Sanders, where he'd be like, yo, I'm out. I don't want to play no more.
Okay. I could see that.
I could see him doing that. I could see him just going, yo, I don't want to play no more.
I got Kyrie doing that, honestly. I got Kyrie walking away.
I see Kyrie doing that.
I can see it with Kyrie. I definitely don't have inside information. But KD just looks like he wants to hoop. Like I feel like KD would just stick around just for like I'm just trying to.
KD wanted him to
pull up Vince Carter. He might pull up Vince Carter.
But like, genuinely still be good enough to
genuinely.
KD will never average less than 20 points. KD will never average less than 20 points.
I can't see KD at 40 years old averaging like 16. I can't see that.
If he just wants to hoop, I mean,
I think
if he just want to hoop,
that's just how I view it.
And that for that reason right there, Damo, KD is that dude that if he worked at the post office, he'd be playing in the rec league. So I can't see KD.
That's what I was gonna say. If he doesn't, he might just be at pro-ams and stuff.
That's what he could. That's what I still do.
Like you'd still see KD.
Yes, you still gonna see him playing somewhere.
Crawford.
Yeah, like you'd see him at damn near every event. Like that's how I'd view it. Like he's gonna be. You'd see KD hooping. Like when Kawhi disappears, I think he's gonna be gone.
He might go overseas.
Hey, Big 3 would be dope if they got KD over there. I'm actually pulling for that.
Go overseas, who knows?
All right, y'all. We got to keep it lit though. I do want to bring up this in-season tournament ranking so we can see this as of right now, what it's looking like. Keep in mind, some teams have played 4 games, like you see the Lakers up top. Some teams have only played 2 games, like you see the Kings and the Wolves, and they still have to play each other too. Looking forward to that game. But as of right now, we get a sneak peek off what it's looking like going into the knockout round. Now you see LA up here; they have advanced. They were the second team to go, and I'm gonna scroll down go over. The Indiana Pacers, even though they've only played 3 games, they've nobody in their conference can catch them, so they have moved on. Let's look at some more of these though. You see the New Orleans Pelicans and the Denver Nuggets are tied at the top of the West B group at 2-1. I'm not sure if they still have to play each other. Let me see.
I think the Lakers got Phoenix on Friday, if I'm not mistaken. And I think that's a.
Isn't it Memphis they go? No, isn't it
No.
Portland they go?
Or is it? Yeah,
the Lakers don't have to play any more games.
So they done. I thought it was
they're done. They went 4-0.
No, I think Phoenix have Portland or Memphis. I think
Phoenix has Memphis.
That should be easy win for Phoenix.
Okay,
Phoenix has Memphis Friday.
So Phoenix more than likely to go 3-1. Sac in Minnesota. How we feeling about that?
It's a big game. What, a top-rated offense against a top-rated defense?
That's a good game.
That's gonna be a damn good game.
They play each other Friday, if I'm not mistaken.
No Jaden McDaniels, though. No Jaden McDaniels.
Yeah, he rolled his ankle a couple of nights ago against the Knicks, and that's gonna be a problem for them defensively on the wings.
I want to see how Sabonis does against Rudy Gobert, especially see them again in the playoffs if they ever match up. To see how Sabonis performs against Rudy Gobert will be interesting.
I think I got the Timberwolves winning. I think Cat's going to be a mismatch for them personally. That's how I'm viewing it. I think Cat's a mismatch.
They would have Harrison Barnes on Cat.
That's a mismatch.
Yeah, it's mismatch 100%. I think it's Harrison Barnes on Cat.
Yeah, I think Cat's the problem. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I got the Kings winning that game.
And I thought that, and I'm a Rudy Gobert merchant. I'll be lying if I said I wasn't. I'm a Rudy Gobert merchant. The last game that they played against the Knicks, I think he was 7 for 7. They don't use him nearly as much as they should. Mike Conley does get him involved, and I think that he could do that the way as fast as Sacramento plays. I think he could do that against Sacramento, just rim running. That's it, rim running and lobs. And I think that that'd be huge for them because Cat actually gets him involved. Mike Conley gets him involved too. They had that similar what Mobley and Jared Allen. They have something like that, but it's not the same. But if they could do that more, I think they'd be a lot better. A lot better.
So y'all check me out. So we got the Kings and the Wolves, and we're looking at West Group C. We got the Kings and the Wolves at 2-0. Then you got the Warriors at 1-1. Both of these teams, or all three of these teams, obviously still have to play 2 more games. The Kings in Sacramento play each other this Thursday, and then the Kings have to play the Golden State Warriors for game number 4. For game number 4, the Wolves have to play OKC. And then the Warriors' next 2 games are the Spurs, and then they got Sac. So I'm expecting the Warriors to go 2-1, and then obviously the Kings or the Wolves, one of those teams are going to be 2-1. But they all 3 have hard game 4s, where obviously the Kings have to play the Warriors, and then you got the Wolves who have to play OKC. How are we seeing this working out in Group C? Because the Warriors still have a horse in the race.
Well, Sacramento and Minnesota, I think, are the clear 2 best teams for sure. And then I'd probably take OKC as the third team. I think that those 2 losses are just kind of.
OKC's done with them 2 losses. It's it's no way they're going to be able to advance.
But they could go 2-2 just like Golden State.
Yeah,
and have a better differential because OKC got the highest differential in the group because they played the Spurs and killed them. So even though they 4th, they got the highest point differential, which could put them above Golden State.
I'm about to say, it shows the teams that are eliminated. Only teams eliminated right now are Portland, Memphis, and San Antonio. At least out of the West groups.
And this might hot take. I don't think the Warriors blow out the Spurs.
Yeah.
I think they win, but I don't think they blow them out. So I don't know how much
eliminated as well, but it's not on this.
If you look at the East side, you'll see the.
Oh yeah, this is just the West side.
Yeah.
No, I said Clippers.
One and 2.
The Clips not eliminated,
but they had
that
came out.
Every other team could go 2 if every team in that bracket goes 2-2, which I don't know if that's possible. I don't know who the Clippers' last game is. I'm assuming they'd still be in the race, but with their differential, I don't know how that happens. The other teams would have to get blown out because they played New Orleans and Denver, I think, which means New Orleans would have to lose to Houston. No, New Orleans would have to lose to. Which team haven't New Orleans played?
So
they haven't played the Clippers. The Clippers would have to beat New Orleans, which I think they can.
They beat the Pelicans already.
And then Denver have to play. Denver have to play.
Damn, Mars. Yep.
Move on, man. Move on.
Hey, don't sleep on the Warriors. So the Warriors, they play San Antonio next. We're all expecting them to beat San Antonio. They go 2-1. And then They play the Kings. Let the Kings win tonight. They beat the Timberwolves, and then the Warriors come and beat them. Hey, I mean, the Warriors still got action.
Yeah, they still got action. They do. But
They got hope.
Yeah. I got them going 2-2.
All right, moving over to the East side. Don't really too much have to talk about the East A. It looks like it doesn't look like Indiana has secured that. I guess Cleveland still can possibly get in as a wild card. Mm-hmm. But moving on to East B, we got Miami and Milwaukee and the New York Knicks.
I had the Knicks winning that division. I did. Yeah, I had the Knicks winning that division. And Milwaukee,
I think I had Miami.
So Miami and Milwaukee both play each other game 4. Miami has to play the Knicks next, and Milwaukee has to play the Wizards next. Milwaukee has to play the Wizards next.
Miami got to play the Knicks.
The Knicks, and then they have to play Milwaukee.
I think it all comes down to that last game. I think they're both going to win. I think Miami's going to beat the Knicks, and I think Milwaukee's going to beat Washington. I think it comes down to the last game.
That should be an entertaining game.
How many wildcard teams make it?
Just 2 on each side.
Yeah,
one on each side.
So two total, 1 on each side.
1 on each side. So the winner and the 1 on each side.
So you got the 3 winners. You got the 3 winners in the division.
And then whoever has the best record, or if it's a tie record, best point differential.
And 2 wild cards. That's it.
Yeah. I think it comes down to the last game, Milwaukee and Miami. I'm certain of it. Well, not certain, but like 80%.
Okay. Moving along to EC. Is this a 1-team race? And Boston has to play Orlando and
Orlando.
I'm about to say Orlando.
Orlando is not a cakewalk. They lost to them twice.
That's the best defense in the NBA.
I think they lost to them twice last year. Or maybe I don't like that matchup anyway with Boston and in Orlando. I really don't.
So we think because they play Orlando Friday. We think Orlando could possibly upset and
yes.
Yeah. Can Orlando win the division?
Yes, I think they can.
I'm not about winning the division. I'm not going to say win the division, but they could definitely beat Boston.
Orlando's 2-1. If they beat Boston, they're 3-1, and Boston's 3-1. And I'm assuming Boston's still going to beat Chicago as well. So now it just boils down to point differential.
I think them beating Boston will lower Boston's point differential, right? And depending on how bad they beat them, it erases theirs. And if they go out there and bop Boston, that's really the whole C group is going to be turned upside down. Not upside down, but it's a whole different shift.
Yeah,
Orlando got action. That's what I'm saying.
So who has Orlando winning the division? Does anybody?
I'm gonna stick with Boston.
I'll take Orlando, man.
I'll take Orlando.
It's not ridiculous to think that they can win it. It's not. It is not ridiculous to think that they could win it. It's not.
All right, sure enough. Well, we'll definitely Friday we got a whole nother situation going on between Black Friday and whatnot. Monday we'll talk about it, and then next Tuesday is the final playing games. So we'll know by Wednesday morning. Well, Tuesday night, but we'll be able to talk about it Wednesday morning about what the knockout rounds are looking like. But in the meantime, I got a bunch of super chats, so I'm gonna go ahead and take care of these. We got one from SR Biggs. He said there's been questions about what the Lakers' identity is. I believe their ability to close games is their identity. 7-0 when leading going into the fourth. Thoughts?
Wasn't that the same in the bubble, right? I remember seeing a record where the Lakers had the lead in the fourth. They were like 40-0 or something. That they just never lost a game where if they went into the fourth leader. So optimists say they're on 2020.
Look, I think I would assume 90% of the league, if not more, will have a winning record entering the fourth quarter. For the most part, teams are just going to win when they have to leave the fourth quarter. But I think their calling card identity. Look, I still think you want to play 80 at the 4, LeBron at the point, and just get whether it's Christian Wood or Jackson Hayes at the 5. I just think 80 is so much more comfortable at the 4. LeBron point, ball in his hands, get D'Lo more off ball. I think the playoffs, that's what they need to do.
How long's Cam Reddish out? Do we know?
He's still been. How long has it been?
It was. Well, he got hurt.
Cam Reddish just went out last night.
Yeah,
Cam Reddish just went out last night. Gabe Vincent's been out for a while, and Jared Vanderbilt's been out for a while.
Keep Gabe Vincent out. I ain't gonna lie. Keep him out.
Because if they've missed Cam Reddish for a sort of extended period of time, and Jared Vanderbilt, I don't know when he's coming back. That could hurt them because I think their identity is going to be their defense. I think that's just like 2020. I think that's where their success comes from. Because that offense is that shooting
putrid.
Yeah, they said he's still going through evaluations. We don't know yet with Reddish.
That's going to be crucial for them because if they don't have him,
that's big.
You relying on AD to do a whole lot.
All right, y'all, keeping it lit. Lil Techie. He just dropped a mixtape too, by the way. Y'all need to go check out Lil Techie. But Lil Techie said, I've watched every Bulls game since Boylan was fired. For most of the dirty, hard-fought games we won, it was due to Caruso's effort on both sides.
Tell him again.
Facts.
Go check his mixtape. He talks
Caruso,
about, he got a song called Caruso.
Caruso
Lil
knows
Tech-
his role and he thrives.
Lil
in it.
Techie, that's his name? Like that's his
Yeah.
MC name? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we'll check him out.
Which asks the question: we go. Do we take Caruso, who thrives in his role, versus a guy whose role is clearly bigger and he's a better player, but he underperforms in that role? You see what I'm saying? So it's the same.
I'm gonna take Alex Caruso. That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, I'm just asking the question,
Caruso's a top 50 player in the NBA. I hope that answers your question.
strong.
Dell does not like that at all.
What?
Dell does not like that at
They'll
all.
say he could be Caruso
man.
1v1.
I think you got to start paying more attention to Caruso, Dell. I think that, and just as a basketball player, just start paying more attention to Caruso.
No, I know Caruso could play because I love his story. So it's just so Caruso, players like Caruso, like I like when we judge every player the same, but we can't. But I like when we do. But players like Caruso, they're always going to be on the uprising and never like Caruso
They
would
don't
never,
get the scrutiny of the superstars.
he would never get scared. All right,
when they
keep
do
game.
Mhm.
We Caruso, his first. This is his third year with Chicago.
Second.
I thought it was third year too.
No, third.
Third, yeah.
Is
Third.
it third?
Right.
21, 22, 23. Yeah.
Yes, third. So
Okay.
his first year was, I think that was DeMar's best year.
Yeah,
DeMar
DeMar had like an MVP season. Yeah,
And he got hurt, right? I think Caruso had got hurt a little bit.
he
was
got
out.
hurt his first year. The second season was coming off the bench, coming back from it.
I love the Caruso hype. I just want to see the other side of it. Caruso just out here doing nothing, just whatever. I just want to see that side because I remember when Patrick Beverly was loved for the exact same way. Like literally,
I wasn't around because there were people
Clippers-
saying Pat
Clippers
Bev as good as
Beverly.
Alex Caruso. Yeah, if there's people saying any version of Pat Bev better than Caruso, I would have disagreed with them.
Patrick Beverly
and
was
that's a problem to me.
he was
though.
a deep Hawaii conversation.
Because honestly, Patrick Beverly is a better offensive player than Alex Caruso.
Whoa!
Easy.
Timeout, rewind,
Easy,
back it up,
Dell.
flag on the play.
Easy, Dell.
Flag on the
Since
play.
when?
Dell,
No.
chill out.
Since when?
Like, we try to get with you, Dell, and then you go off the rails, man.
Since
You
when?
wild as hell like this,
This
man.
is my problem.
You wild, Dell. This is what I'm talking about, yo. We get on your page, and then you'll say something like this. Patrick Beverly is not a better offensive player
Why,
than Alex
Del?
Caruso.
Why?
You know why?
Respect the floater Alex or Patrick Beverly made last night. That was a
Yeah,
big
but
floater.
he's talking about prime Pat Bev, which is like
That's what, that's what I only said that- hold on. I only said
Clippers,
that
Pat Bev.
because what you said, Mars. You said that any version of Pat Bev.
Yeah, but I don't think whatever you think is peak Pat Bev offensively, whether
It's
that's
not peak. I've just seen Patrick Beverly as a scorer more than I've seen him as a scorer. Like we come up the same trajectory, so I've seen him as a scorer, and he's a better scorer than Alex Caruso. That's why I'm saying it personal. That's why, not what the numbers would show or the numbers would tell you. Just like if you play peak Pat Bev versus peak thing in the one-on-one where you wanted Klay, Pat Bev would win every single game. Every single game.
One-on-one?
Listen, if you go to peak Pat Bev versus peak
Pat Bev.
When was peak Pat Bev?
I'm not gonna lie, I love a combo about peak Pat Bev versus Caruso 1-on-1.
Yeah, no,
That's a
because
great
he said Caruso versus Claim. Peak Pat Bev, who I know is like can score the basketball. Like, yo, go get a bucket.
Right.
I know.
2017-18 Clippers.
I'm about to say, when was peak Pat Bev? When was this?
I want to say 2018 Clippers.
You guys don't know him. He never had to be peak Pat Bev.
It was the
Oh,
year.
so
that
peak Pat Bev ain't even in the NBA?
That was talking about he's seen Pat Bev get busy. I know Pat Bev can get a bucket.
Are you talking about Rico Hines, Pat Bev? Oh my
Rucker
God.
Park Pat Bev.
I've never
Oh
been.
my God.
I've never
We're
been
talking
to
about
Rico
Drew
Hines.
League. We're talking about Drew League, Pat Bev.
I'm talking about the game of basketball. That's what I'm talking about. Because don't say who he's done it against. Because
Because if we talking about game of 1-on-1, we clearly aren't.
no,
talking about
only reason I brought up
NBA.
one-on-one because you brought up Clay. You
Yeah,
brought
I
up
know.
Clay.
I'm with you. I'm saying if we talk about 1-on-1, we
This is
could
my
talk about
problem.
NBA
Damo,
players.
listen. Damo, listen. You when he brought up Clay, you didn't get all so mad or whatever. You didn't even deflate it. You didn't deflate it. And
It's 'cause of my accent, though. It's 'cause
and
of my accent.
Klay has been outwardly getting buckets against the best of the best defenders. But I didn't see you say anything. But now when I bring up Pat Bev, it's like, who did he do it against? Klay done it against the best, and you still would probably take this Caruso shenanigans that's been going on for the last 20 years.
What does Klay have to do with me thinking that Caruso's better than Pat Bev?
It's
I'm
not
saying you ain't argue with me when I said Caruso would beat Klay, but you arguing about
Because I agree Caruso will beat Klay. I don't think Pat Bev is
that's my point.
That's different.
But you agree with the Klay thing, but who has Caruso have glorious scoring numbers against for you to bring up asking me who Pat Bev scored against?
I mean, using your philosophy, I've seen Caruso tap into potentials that he never had to do in the NBA. So I guess that counts. I seen Caruso in the training workout with Lethal Shooter go one-on-one with some guys and look like a phenomenal offensive player and do things I've never seen him do before. I've seen Caruso. I seen Peyton Pritchard drop like 70 points in some runs before. Do I say that? Oh yeah, my guy Peyton Pritchard is a bucket and he's busting Klay Thompson? No, I mean I understand NBA players have. I'm saying
it for Caruso against Klay Thompson.
I think Caruso. I believe Caruso's better. I don't believe better. I don't believe any version of Pat's better. I don't care about the 30-point per game Pat in high school. I don't care about the Pat playing in China or wherever he went before the NBA. I don't care about the Pat Bev that bust Rashard McCants in the 2010-11 workout for the Lakers. Whichever Pat Bev you want to talk about that I didn't see.
I believe it. But that's the discrepancy. You pick and choose which part you could pick up for your point and you go by there. I believe Patrick Beverly playing a one-on-one when he is beating Alex Caruso. I'm taking that. It ain't based on Alex Caruso on the Bulls. You're not going to use Alex Caruso and his NBA ways against Pat Bev, but when it doesn't match up with a Klay Thompson, we can't bring it up. No, Alex Caruso, Pat Bev, I got Pat Bev.
And you say that, I say racism. You're saying that because he's white.
Oh, damn. Is this xenophobia? Is that what we doing? Is that what we doing, Dal? Is that what we doing, Damo? Is it xenophobia? Yes or no?
No, it's not xenophobia because Alex Caruso is a Texas boy. He from Texas. He's not from overseas. That's why it's just racism at this point.
Alex Caruso not racist.
Caruso not racist.
His great grandfather, great grandmother, they are.
Hey.
All right, we're gonna keep it pushing to the next super chat. Drink More Water said, drink more water. He said Middleton recently passed Sidney Moncrief as the Bucks' fourth all-time leading scorer, with Giannis being first. Coupled with their recent success together, are they the best duo in Bucks history?
So him and Jabbar
Didn't Kareem and Oscar play?
That's what I thought. They was only together.
It wasn't very long. It was like 3 years.
Yeah, 3 years. And Oscar Robertson was on the other side of who he used to be. You can definitely make that argument that Middleton and Giannis are the best duo in Milwaukee Bucks history. They were together 8 years, won the NBA championship. I think Middleton made the All-Star team. I think Middleton made the All-Star team. And as a duo, what they've done, been to the Eastern Conference Championship twice, won the NBA championship. Yeah. As a duo.
The chip is definitely what's moving the needle, because you can't say like Terry Cummings and Sidney Moncrief.
I mean, as individual players, that's different. I mean, Terry Cummings was fantastic as a Milwaukee Buck, right? It might be. I would have to say so.
I do want to point out the fact that Ticket Duckler smoked this whole episode, and this was commendable.
Sure did.
And I hope you come out with a whole new set of dentures or whatever it is. I hope all your feelings have been.
We'll get back. We'll be back on Monday to talk about Tyrese Haliburton.
That's a long time to forget. But hey, good job.
The Pacers are going to play another game, and if Haliburton has a down game, you know that's going to be.
All of a sudden, he was right.
Right.
Lee Avstar said, "How big was the Cavs win against the Sixers?" Salute.
Huge. From a confidence standpoint, it was huge. Yes, sir.
They know they can compete. Again, it's a big confidence for guys like Max Strus, Garland, Jared Allen.
Shout out to Max Strus, man. It's nice when Max Strus hit the shots.
Was hooping.
Alan R with the super chat said,
y'all got me up here looking at Alex Caruso.
You gotta go do your homework on him, Dale. It's not no nonsense. Don't box score watch in this particular situation. Don't do that,
I
Dale.
hit my head on something when I'm talking about this. Y'all got me up here going to basketball reference for Alex Caruso, who's never averaged over 10 points in the NBA yet.
Never double figure. Never.
And y'all telling me, and Pat Bragg averaged 12.2 1 year.
That's
And
1 year though. 1 year. They're both essentially 8-9 point guys.
I don't give a damn what you're talking about.
That 1 year was in the Clippers, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
it
that
was.
Clipper season. Yeah.
Now I'm looking. I'm like, damn, Alex Caruso.
Still like 40% from three.
I'm going into this. I'm about to see him averaging 13, 9.6, 6.5, 7.9. And you out here telling me, so what the fuck is he doing that got you sitting here thinking that he can out early? First of all, clamp up Klay Thompson. Oh, because he's a good defender. That means Klay just can't score because he can play defense that well.
Basically,
stop that, please.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. This is insane, Dale. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Let's not take. No, I had to go look at the numbers because I was afraid because I don't know numbers. So let's take. You said no runs, no Rico, no high school. Let's take the 12.2 in the NBA, which you want to go by. Which Caruso is beating that one? Based on the numbers you wanted
it sounds like Bev gonna win 12-9. It sounds like it.
Hold on, Mars. Let's ask him because y'all was going to numbers that I didn't know. So I said, wait, Pat Bev averaged 12.2. Caruso is at 9.6. Which year we gonna go for Caruso? What is gonna be the answer then?
Is this a rhetorical question?
No, I want the answer because I thought he was. You said I'm smoking or do I thought Caruso
I didn't say that.
Average it.
Okay. Which Caruso am I taking over that Pat Bev? This Caruso and last year's Caruso, and wait, hold on. And to make it even better for you, 2020 Caruso.
9.8, 5.6, 6.4, 7.4. Astronomical numbers.
South Bay Lakers Caruso.
Worldly numbers that you're giving me here, Bob.
Bob,
like stop it, please.
That shouldn't Bobo.
I'm more Bobo. When did basketball discourse have to say, "Oh, BLB, the points per game you had"?
I got the ether for Del. I got the ether. 2018, Alex Caruso on the South Bay Lakers, 19 points per game. I win.
Bang.
Yo, it's not the be all. I swear, you know I don't know numbers, Dama. So when
20 in the playoffs.
when you're telling me these scoring things in my mind, I'm like, damn, Caruso, because I know Caruso could play basketball, but I'm thinking like he's getting buckets that y'all saying.
I never said anything about scoring though.
That's the only time. Just so you know, Miles, that's the only time he ever scored 20 a game in his career. Never averaged 20 a game. Never averaged double figures. Never.
The way Pat Bev was laughed at a one-on-one versus Alex Caruso is what got me to understand. Like I was just like, damn, like I didn't know.
Oh my God!
The year he averaged 12, he played 11 games.
Hold on. Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. But Dale, my bad. I should have started with this. I have a bias against Pat Bev. I just don't like him. That's my fault. I should have started there. That's my fault.
I'm gonna listen to it.
I genuinely apologize.
No one in this world hates Pat Bev more than me.
So he got one.
Okay. Yes, so now I can think you're blind. Okay, now this is great. Now this is racism. There's no way a man that you hate, you're going to seriously fight for a man you hate that hard over Caruso? Racism.
No, you're not understanding. I'm fighting y'all system of how y'all debate shit. Y'all make it seem like it's no way Pat Bev could be Caruso. So it had to make me sit back and look at what the hell Caruso has been doing for him to be so much better than Patrick Beverly. That's why
I just disagree with you saying he was better than him offensively.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I just disagree. Yeah. I've never said anything about the one-on-one thing. I just think Caruso is better. That's it. That's all I've said on this whole time.
Pat Bev was
about the 19 points per game for the South Bay Lakers in 2018.
Pat Beverly was a solid creator.
I think Caruso makes better decisions with the ball, even as a passer. I think that helps. Like, I think Patrick Beverley is a little
Like I
more.
said, it's Pat Bev setting
a
tables
little more
for.
crazier with the ball.
Fellas, I gotta read these super chats. We went
Man,
way
you're trying to
too
have
long
the
with
Pat
the
Bev
Alex
versus Caruso
Caruso
offensive debate?
versus Pat Bev argument.
What other
LeBron
show was
and
talking
MJ
about
just
Pat
said the
Bev versus
same
Caruso?
thing.
All right, so I would keep it pushing. Alan R said, "Dub PEDs. Mars needs to hop off."
Hey man,
LPDs.
LeBron taking that. He's taking those Mr. Hard Work dedication pills. Keep trying to tell y'all, it's hard.
Jordan sent through a super chat and said, "Send Dwight to Prince."
Oh my God!
Shout out Prince.
Shout out Dwight.
Terry and Prince might be a terrorist, but I wouldn't wish that kind of fear on my worst enemy. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's crazy.
Prada Fiend sent through a super chat and said, "Christian Wood is a dog. T Prince trash. Hallie is over Fox."
I agree with all those statements.
All those Hallie versus Fox is a really good conversation. I'll edge Hallie right now, but I mean Fox he's been balling out.
Give me De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah.
MP13 said 27 and 12 with a 6-to-1 assist to turnover ratio for his last 7 games is just insane playmaking. Plus 55, 50, 90 splits. Dude is going crazy.
Is he the most improved player this season?
Respect Sengun.
I respect Sengun. I think it's a conversation, but
Is Haliburton what second team All NBA at this point? Right now, if you're to do it,
Well, it's positionless. So.
Who is first team?
his position.
first team would probably be Luka, Jokic. I have to know.
Go ahead and say it.
Luka,
Go ahead and say
Jokic,
it.
Luka,
Go ahead
Jokic.
and say it, Jalen.
Go ahead, say it, Jalen. If it ended,
Luka,
say it,
Jokic. Hold up, LeBron, Embiid,
Of course.
Giannis.
I was waiting for it.
So KD just don't exist.
KD second team. I got love for KD. He's on the second team. He's on the second team with like SGA, KD, throwing Haliburton in there.
AD's on the second team. Yep. Yep. Of course.
What
Yep.
is Bam doing?
Ooh, I might think about that. Jason Tatum,
Where's who?
Bam.
Bam and a bio, probably a third
Bam
teamer.
definitely is an all-pro.
Maybe a
this year.
third teamer. Maybe a
100%.
third teamer for me.
He might be second team.
Wait, hold
First team
on.
all defense.
Time
Most
out.
improved.
Hold on, though. Bam versus like Sabonis. Shout out Sengun.
You're still doing positions. It's positionless.
I know,
It
yeah, I
doesn't
have
need
to-
to be
it's in my
big. You
head.
can
That's
compare
right.
him to Kyrie if you want.
Right.
Is this the first year's positionless?
Yes, this year.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
But it's tough for like that. You got Anthony
It's
Edwards.
not 3 centers. They could, Embiid, Jokic, and Giannis can all be first team if they want.
wow. Okay, because one of them was
Yeah, Jokic was second team last
Which I
year.
hate.
Also, keep in mind, 65 games too. That's probably why they had to go positionless, because it's like this 65 games thing is going to muddy the water so much. We got to be able to grab any guy that's eligible and has had a good season.
It's just me. Players are resting less this year, right? It seems like we're just getting less.
Yeah, Zion's not. I think Zion missed
sure.
like
It
3
seems like
games from
players are
rest
playing
already.
more. It seems like players are playing more. So that
Zion
65
doesn't
game
want to be
thing
in-
might be
he doesn't
helping
want
that
to
out.
be in New Orleans anymore.
All right, y'all. But keeping it pushing though. Clad Diamond said Trae Young got doubled full court third quarter. For what
Trae
it's
Young was
worth.
hooping. Trae Young was hooping. Got to give Trae Young his love there too. He was hooping that game.
Is
Sean
Sean better than Trae Young?
Who? Say it.
Darren Fox.
I don't think so.
I'm
No,
edge
I wouldn't
Fox.
say so.
I think Fox.
But I'm like the last person who still thinks Trae Young is very good.
Oh, I think he's phenomenal, but that's why
I think he's great too. But
Trae Young a top 5 point guard team.
Unfortunately, Trey's moved down my list. You guys know how big I was.
He
on
moved
Trey.
down your list. Oh my god.
My new list is gonna drop here pretty soon. Also, too, want y'all to know, and everybody up here, because I'm gonna need you guys to send me your list. December 1st, we're gonna drop our new power rankings. Well, choice charts is what we call it. Ranking all the teams in the league. It'll be a culmination of everybody sitting their list in, and then we'll do the averages and all of that. So I'm eager to see what that looks like December 1st. We'll reveal it live on the show.
Wait, hold on, Ron. I was here for when y'all continued. Yo, I wrote it in the chat. That top 25 y'all did was the worst shit I've ever seen.
What, top 25 players?
players.
How was Kawhi in front of KD on that one? That's the only.
Oh, yeah, that was ridiculous. That was
Because,
ridiculous. That was the whole Kawhi
if he's healthy,
Yeah,
that was it.
absolutely.
Because if he's healthy, I wasn't trying to hear that, Dell, but that was the logic.
And
It's
who
'cause
was
it
it?
was a
Ticket?
combined list.
Who was
They got the
it?
most
Ticket.
votes. Yeah.
Who else was it? Ticket, probably Damo. Who?
Ticket, Ron, and Ox.
I'm pretty sure I had KD over.
I was just
No,
the
I did not.
tiebreaker. Remember, I'm just the one that sets the table. I think I was the tiebreaker, and
I was just trying to. My plan was with certain players. If I thought it was an egregious player, I'd have to vote for someone else because I was trying to keep the list in somewhat of an order.
Right.
Like for example, KD was sliding, So even though I wanted to put a guy like AD quite high, I had to put KD and vote for him because KD would have dropped to like 9. I was like, okay.
Well, and AD would have been okay. I see what you're saying. That's
so so I was trying to like get players somewhat close to where they were. So that was my plan, but the list was cooked. We had Embiid too low as well, in my opinion. But
okay, who was 2? Steph.
Giannis.
Jokic and Giannis for 1.
Giannis, Steph.
Okay.
Kawhi might have been 4, and then Luka
was
was 5.
Luka was 4.
Luka was not. I thought Luka was like 3 or 4. Was that on there? I thought Luka
Was it Tatum? It might have been Tatum. Tatum might have been the name that was like crazy to me.
Yeah, Luka 4.
Okay.
Yeah, it is right there.
Yeah. Oh, Embiid was too low. You're right.
Embiid was way too low. But
damn,
I wanted to put guys like Embiid and AD higher, but KD wasn't getting picked. So
AD over LeBron is crazy too.
Nah.
Still not seeing it.
Also, mid-December, we will be doing a player tier ranking. So we still have to figure out what the 6 tiers will be called, but it will be 6 tiers from the highest of tiers to the lowest of tiers. And we're going to do it with guards, forwards, and then just big men in general. So you guys be looking out for that. I can't wait for that. Dale, if you want to right our wrongs, need you to be up here for that.
when is this?
It's going to be mid-December. I'll let you know exactly. It's at the quarter mark of the season, so it gives us a good chunk of time, and we've been able to see what players have looked like and all of that good stuff. But all right, keeping it pushing. JR Wins said, "Glad to see the Magic play good and first in defensive rating."
Facts.
Defense, no joke.
I just want to see Jonathan Isaac play more than 12 minutes.
And they're doing it
Are
with their
they
backup center.
I think they're preserving him.
I think you have to slowly work.
I just don't think they think he can play. I'm gonna be honest. I just don't think they think he can play too much. That's my theory. I might be wrong. And then if they make the playoffs, he's playing 25 minutes. But I want to see Jonathan Isaac 20, 25 minutes. That's what I want.
Winter with the super chat said predictions on these games tonight: Heat versus Cavs, Suns versus Warriors, Mavs versus Lakers.
The Suns play the Warriors tonight?
I think it's like every team in the league playing tonight. It's a ton of games tonight.
Right now.
I know the Suns play the Warriors.
Yeah, they are.
That's
Suns or Warriors.
happening
Yeah,
tonight.
Suns or Warriors. Sacramento, New Orleans again. Milwaukee, Boston.
Definitely tapping into that. I got the Suns though. I got the Suns. I got the Mavs.
Bucks.
What was the other game? Heat and who?
No, Lakers and
Cavs.
Heat and
Mavs.
Cavs. I'll go with the Heat. They're moving me. But that Suns Warriors game definitely interesting to me.
On the back-to-back too.
John Lyons said, "Can you say that Klay never improved his one-on-one game? For example, ball handling. So when his shots are not falling, it's way easier to guard him."
It improved. Like rookie Klay to like 2017 Klay, he could do more. He was just never good at it. So like every player has a ceiling. His ceiling was just very low when it comes to his ability to create for himself. And I think he reached it. And now he's slower. He can't create any separation. And he's cooked. And he's washed. And Alex Caruso is better.
Klay Thompson, without Steph, throughout his whole career, struggled a lot. And one of the things that I think booked it was that in the sports betting world, Vegas knew that anytime Steph was ruled out, everyone just bets Klay's overs, even when they make the adjustment. But they'd make the adjustment at a number where it was still kind of like, okay, like 25, 26. But he hit the under of his line like 70% of the time. So people assumed that Klay would just be so much more impressive without Steph. But Klay struggled a lot creating his own shot, not having Steph there to take out the defensive pressure. So yeah, Klay as an individual scorer definitely struggles.
He did average like 30 against Portland in 2016 without Steph in the playoffs.
Yeah, he'll have those teams, sure, he dominates, but as a totality throughout his whole career, it's just been really bad. Even in the prime from like 2013 to like 2018, he really
I remember doing some research. Klay without Steph and KD on the court, or maybe without Steph, KD, and Draymond, averaged 6 turnovers a game.
Oh, bad.
Yeah.
Key sent through a super chat and said, "I'm waiting for the Magic talk. Ron, you picked Toronto, LU, 5th in the East."
Oh, you did pick Toronto, but you was just trying to be different.
Magic are good. The Magic are good. And Toronto.
That defense is fantastic. Them and Minnesota defensively,
they're up there.
moving.
And they're doing it without Wendell Carter Jr. too. He's been out for a while.
That's what's impressive.
Kenneth Paris, have point guards always been questionable on D, or is it just now?
Not always.
Not always, but I think point guards were less aggressive scorers back in the day. So defensively, you didn't really. It's different when you have to worry about someone who could come off a ball screen and shoot from 24 feet. Like, not even talking about Steph and Dame and them, because they're outliers. That's ridiculous. But just having guys who, like, even, I don't want to say mediocre point guards, but you go against a team like the Wizards, and Tyus Jones can pull up from 20 feet consistently. You go against a team like the Spurs, Devin Vassell can do it. Like most teams now in the NBA have a point guard who off a ball screen can hit that pull-up jump shot with regularity. Back in the day, that wasn't what point guards were asked to do. They were more table setting, get other guys involved, get their scorers involved. So the game's changed, and point guards have to do more defensively in terms of slowing down scorers, which is why I think we notice more defensive liabilities, because they have to do more.
But you did have scorers. You did have scorers at the point guard spot. Tim Hardaway was a scorer. Gary Payton was a scorer. Jason Kidd, he wasn't a 20 a game guy, but he could score. So you
Kevin
did
Johnson,
right? Exactly. You did have guys who could
Price,
score.
yep.
But the separator is what you just got finished talking about. Guys weren't shooting the long ball at 22, 20, 23 feet. That's where the separation is. You still had guys getting downhill and getting to the rim. You still had guys like Mark Price shooting in the mid-range. So the point guard still had to defend. Hardaway had to defend. Kevin Johnson had to defend. Even in the more modern era, Baron Davis had to defend. Steve Francis had to defend, because you still had guys in the point guard spot that could guard. The fact that the long ball has been so prevalent in today's game, that has stretched the defense out so far that's made it almost impossible. And it's actually tricked a lot of you guys to think guys can't defend, when in reality, I don't think it's possible to guard a guy off the bounce shooting from 25 feet. You can't cover that.
You really can't. And especially if it's a screener there too. Remember, we were talking about the reject and all of that. It's nothing you can do.
You cannot.
And they can carry a lot more too. Like, that's a big difference too.
Way over here. It is.
Like, I'm not gonna lie. The fact that they can carry, how you meant to go? Like, if you doing a hezzy and your hand is borderline underneath the ball,
like this,
ain't no way you're meant to be able to defend that. So them being able to do that and get away with it as much as they do also makes it very hard for defenses.
All right, y'all. A couple more super chats. Lil Techie, y'all make sure to go get his mixtape. I'm telling you, the boy fire. Lil Techie said, peak Pat Bev was in high school.
Yeah, it's 38 in high school in Chicago.
I want to say like what? It's like 60-70% of NBA guys probably have insane high school mixtapes.
Yeah,
just insane.
I guess that's it.
Oh, Ron left us.
Yeah, I guess he's gone.
You got super chats, Mars?
Yeah, I guess we got to finish the super
chats. We got super chats. We going to the press box. We going to the press box.
What happened?
You left and we went to the press box. So about Patrick.
Press box.
Big win by the Eagles.
I guess we're done.
No, we're still live. We're still live.
We're still live. But we about
to. Hey, Patrick Mahomes, man. Patrick Mahomes really the best quarterback I've ever seen.
Wrap it up.
Hey, man. He could be a Patrick. He could be a Travis Kelce merchant a little bit.
Hey, for real, y'all. If you haven't tapped into the press box, it's on right now. But this just isn't the press box. We're just intro on the press box. So y'all make sure you jump off this screen, jump onto the press box's stream, and we will catch you guys Black Friday.
Black Friday it is.
All right, y'all. We out.
Later. Out.